And there we go. That was a lot of ads. That was more ads than needed to be specifically done. I tried to run a set of ads at the beginning and it ran, and then Twitch was like, but you didn't though run any ads. I'm like, but I did. I'm seeing them run right now. They're like, yes, but what if we made you run a second set of ads? So then we'll disable the pre-roll. And I'm like, but I don't want. I ran one for the pre-roll. So like, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do that anyway. Enjoy, buddy. So that happened. Hey, folks. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay today. Happy Thursday. Jesus Christ, it's Thursday already. How did we get to Thursday? How is it already Thursday? I don't know. Yeah, corpse do be corping. Struggle bus. Welcome in, buddy. As always. I'm not entirely sure how we got to where we are today. This week is really just kind of gone by. It's kind of gone by. I tried to do some recording this morning. I don't know if you've had a chance. If you've had a chance, just gonna go ahead and plug the socials real quick. I'm loving these buttons. They let me do this stuff. This is great. But I don't know if you've had a chance, dear viewer, to see the proper review video that I did on the YouTubes. It's on those links for Penumbra City. And I thought it was fine. It was fine. I like it. I think, did I actually do the schedule one? I thought I created it, but it doesn't appear to be. Or wait, no, I think you might have misspelled it. There's supposed to be an actual schedule one. I think I added it. Try it again, Struggle Bus. Try it again. Yeah, you did. Try it again. It should work. There we go. Look at that. Hey. So see, we're bit by bit, we're doing the thing. But yeah, so I did that video. I did that video for Penumbra City, and it's okay. I like it. It was fine. But it felt a little soulless, you know. It felt a little like it was missing a certain je ne sais quoi, which the auto caption on a separate video that I made tried to auto caption as genocide. That is not how you spell je ne sais quoi, robot. Thank you. But I was lacking something, so I tried to do. I was like, all right, today I'm gonna do the video for Gun and Slinger, and we were off to exactly. That is how you spell it, Struggle Bus. That is the correct spelling. It's not spelled genocide. So this morning I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the video for Gun and Slinger, and this one I'm gonna be a little bit more off the cuff. I'm not going to have a script. Hopefully it'll feel a little bit more natural, and it was more work because it's kind of improvising around, and I can tell it's gonna be a little bit more work on the editing side later. But we were off to a pretty decent start. Not too shabby. And I have no idea, Struggle Bus. I have no idea that the machine simply made a choice, an incorrect choice. We got it a couple of takes. I was just explaining the difference between the gun and the slinger. Namely, one of them shoots bullets. So, there is that as character differences go. But then the construction outside my window, which had been kind of chill for the past couple of days, they've been doing stuff. But they've been like further down the block or further up the block or just more doing stuff that's not straight up fucking jackhammering on the street. And then today I'm like, I'm gonna record a video. I'm gonna get in my groove, and I was just getting in the grooves. Here's the thing they don't tell you about this. It takes a bit to warm up. Especially when you're gonna be doing a little bit of improvising as you go, right? So I was warmed up. I was finally, it's like, all right, I'm feeling that flow. I'm feeling the inner Dan come through now, rather than just me reading from a teleprompter. Look, man, I can read from a teleprompter with the best of them, but I wanted something a little bit authenticity. authenticity, which, the authenticity that you get here in these streams, but I want to compress that authenticity into, 20 to 30 minutes max, rather than these, these long-term slow drips of authenticity that you get from the streams. And then, holy shit, the jackhammering right outside for hours. I had to leave the apartment. I had to go away. I was like, cat, and the cat didn't even hear me. She was asleep. She's already used to it. She's like, nope, I'm done. I don't care. I'm asleep. So, great. You do that, sweetheart. You do that. I'm gonna fuck off. So I did. On the plus side, it is a gorgeous day in New York City, which feels almost wrong considering current events, Florida and all that. My condolences and my sentiments and all that. Good luck from somebody who's been through several hurricanes down in Puerto Rico, including some really fucking bad ones. Good luck. But in the meantime, I mean, look, man, here's what's going to happen. New York City is currently having an absolutely beautiful fall. It is gorgeous up here. It's very nice. I'm going to take advantage of that when I can. But also, I'm going to take advantage of that while I can. All right? It's only a matter of time before a Cat 5 makes it all the way up here. All right? Look, we're fucked. Climate change is real, and we're all cooked. So I'm just going to enjoy this while it lasts. All right? I'm looking down at Florida and North Carolina with the full knowledge that, yeah, welcome to the fucking future. Thanks for that, capitalism. Thanks for that. And on that note, also, yeah, we'll get blizzards soon enough and all that. Look, man, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time all around. We're always gonna get to see all sorts of new and exciting, bits of weather that we haven't been exposed to before. Won't that be fun? Won't that be wonderful? Hey, folks, welcome in. We're going to continue to look at Curseborne, and look at this. I got buttons, and I can just do this and go here. Look at that. Ain't that cool? But look, I also added buttons now, so I can, for example, if I wanted to, instead of showing that, I could just show my camera here. Here's my camera, the overhead that I usually have for when I'm looking at the physical books. But now with a button, there's the app. Or if I was like, oh no, my porn, don't look at my porn, I could turn that camera off, just leave the app capture. So see, full control over all of these. Holy shit, technology is amazing, isn't that right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, I do need to make a change. I'm just realizing this now. I've got the Spotify's on here, but when I'm on the intro screen, it's a different music. The Spotify doesn't go there. I need to edit that, but I'll edit that later. Point is, I'm very happy with all these little buttons that I have. I spent some time last night kind of setting them up. Now, I would like to make them pretty. I'm not good at the pretties though. I am good at just the back end of that. I've got a couple that are like multi stuff, like the chat ones. Those are great because it's multi. It sends it out both on the YouTube chat and on the Twitch chat, or at least it's supposed to send it out on the YouTube chat. I don't know if it's actually sending it out. But point is, multiple actions, one button, technology. We are amazing. Hey, who wants to talk about necromancers? Where did we leave off yesterday? Where did we leave off? Now that you've been caught up properly in where we left off, we have, okay, so we saw all this yesterday. We started looking yesterday at manuscript part 2A, the lineage of the dead in Curseborne, right? We got a base, we read through all of this, some basic idea of where the lineages come from, that there are these providences that are the source of the curses, the original curses that started each lineage. These curses are called damnation, so they're heavy duty curses that you can't get rid of, yada yada. Good stuff. There's also the archons, who are these beings from the outside with a capital O. There's monsters in the outside. They come in occasionally. We learned a little bit about the other classes, but mostly we focused on the dead. We've met Sam. Yay, look at that, Sam. Ooh, Sam. So Sam is our guide to the dead. He's been telling us a little bit about it. We found out about the various, well, we found that they exist. There's the Shade Path, the Warden Path, the Fury Path, the Poltergeist Path, Maven, and Zed paths. And then whatever practices are. We got a quick overview of what makes a dead different from a ghost. And in some of the, there's a little bit of turf. There's a little bit of turf war between the dead and the ghosts. A little bit of about necromancers, etc., etc. There's a lot of talk about how the dead are deeply in need of emotion. Their main thing, I wouldn't call them emotional vampires. So they are emotional junkies to a way. They have a need apparently to experience, like we're always chasing that high. They're trying to experience unique perspectives on emotions and always trying to feel more intense emotions. So we feel emotions just like we did when we were alive, but now we crave something else, something more. They have these urges to chase a high, to get that level of overwhelming sensation that comes from experiencing something out of the ordinary. So it is like, it's not that they're cold necessarily. It's not that they don't feel anything, but like it explains it there. It's just cool. It's fine. It keeps you going, normal emotions, but you have this craving. You have this need for the drama. So cool. I like that. We also apparently the dead might help with getting rid of ghosts. And we looked at some of the family dynamics between them. Right? Yes, yeah, we saw all of this. And now we're gonna finally, let's see. Yeah, we saw this. You feel the certain black hole of emotion. Exactly. You don't deserve to relax. You still got this to do. It is. There's an ADHD-ness to being a dead that feels like a bit of a call out. And then we're gonna finally look at systems. So we saw this at the end of yesterday's stream, right? So being a ghost, you have the ability to leave your body and effectively become a ghost. And you have a lot of the same restrictions and some of the same abilities that a ghost would have. You can pass through solid objects, and you can always return to your body immediately. It's a reflexive action, which is cool. But the longer you are outside of your body, you start bleeding resources. We still don't know what bleeding cursed die mean. Again, it sounds like cursed dies are a resource you get for something, and bleeding them means you spend them, you lose them. Well, that part has not yet been explained to us, which is fine. We'll hopefully get explained to us soon enough. But yeah, we got that. And then we also got that the dead cannot truly die. So basically, if the dead's body is destroyed, they are unhoused, they are unanchored rather, and then there's a system for them to come back to find a new body, basically. Not come back to their old body, because their old body is destroyed. They don't get to regenerate it. They don't actually have a special connection to their old body other than it just being the default one. You can always move to a new body, and it takes 24 hours. You must bleed one curse die and spend 24 hours in that new body, and you claim it, and then it's theirs now. The body cannot be inhabited at the moment. They can't just possess somebody. They can't just take over somebody's body and life by default. There has to be a body that is uninhabited, that has no soul, that is already dead, preferably, or at the very least brain dead, before the dead can inhabit it. Cool, good to know. It's interesting, and that opens up lots of paths, and that can be a mini arc in and of itself. Losing the body, gaining a new one, changing all that stuff. That could be a mini arc all in and of itself. Very cool. And then finally, now we are going to the lineage path. Now this is brand new. We are officially on new material, folks. We made it. It took us 15 minutes of the stream, including ads, 15 minutes. No, how long? 20 minutes. 20 to 15 minutes, because ads time and just stream startup time, and just me blathering. But we made it to some new material today. Let's go ahead and take a look. So what are these? So lineage path. You're dead. That kind of sucks. But at least you have a cool new party trick. You've got a new lease on life, ironically enough. What will you do with all this time that fate has handed to you? Because right, they do establish that you are effectively, you're undead, you're immortal, you technically live forever. In fact, they kind of make a point that only the hungry, who are kind of the vampire XPs, have existences as long as those of the dead. So there is a theme to this particular lineage about that, about just existing for this long. This reminds me a little bit of, once again, Geist, a little bit of Mummy. Those two in specific. Wraith a little bit, yes, because of the ghost stuff, but Geist and Mummy in specific both kind of had that thing where you really couldn't die, at least not easily. Even if your body was destroyed, you keep coming back, and it gives your character a different sort of perspective on a lot of things, because you're willing sometimes to do things that other people might not be. There was also this was a deep cut. One of the Chronicles of Darkness, or New WoD, before it was officially Chronicles, when it was like NWoD, and there were these different supernatural classes, and there were these immortals, different types of immortals. And there were like the ones, which I think we're going to see some parallels to some of them, especially in some of the Hungries later on. But there were those who would pass their aging on to a picture, or who would bathe in blood, and most of them were like minor supernatural splats. Basically, they were primarily just mortals who knew some kind of ritual or had some kind of trick to not age, but they were otherwise just people. And then there was what was to me one of the first examples of like a subsplat that I'd ever seen. I guess there was like stuff like sorcerers within World of Darkness, but there were these like true immortals, and I'm blanking on the name right now, but they were absolutely indestructible. They were like these people who were like enlightened or something like that, and they were imagine in the old World of Darkness parlance, if you had a person who astrally projected out, never came back to their body, but still somehow retained their connection to it, and while retaining that connection to their body, they were able to effectively transcend from a ghost into a spirit. And in World of Darkness terms, a spirit was a different kind of ethereal being that is far more permanent. Spirits are kind of like the ghost of a concept, whereas ghosts are the ghost of a person. Spirits are sort of that but for a concept. Not necessarily a dead concept, but they are the spiritual aspect, the spiritual side. Wait, give me a second. Of a concept is one way to look at them. And what I found, basically the point is like they became this, and spirits are far more indestructible than ghosts, because they are a concept. You can destroy them, they kind of always reform. So these immortals basically became a spirit of themselves. So it's like the concept of they were the purified. That was it. They were called the purified, because they literally purified their souls. So they came back, and they were even physically more attractive, because they would become purified. They would purify themselves into a spirit, but it was a spirit of themselves. So it was this idealized version of themselves, and then they would come back into their body, and they had regeneration. They could come back, you could destroy their body entirely, even complete disintegration of their body, nothing left. They just get kicked off to the spirit world, and they have to wait a little bit before they can reform a body back in the physical world. They were crazy. But they were a subsplat because they had their own set of powers, their own powers, but they only went up to level 3, which was like their way of like keeping them from being completely just out of control, I guess. I miss those. Those were crazy. And anyway, there's a little bit of that here. But those, the purified, like I said, they were the spirit of themselves. What in the Lich bullshit is? Yeah, right? It's some real Lich bullshit. Like purified were ridiculous. The only way to kill them was because if you destroyed their body and they had even a single point of like whatever it was called, ectoplasm, energy, whatever it was, like energy, let's just call it energy. I forget the actual term. If they had even a single point of that left, they could just immediately come back. They could immediately reform their body. They would probably just use that point to just get out and then reform their body elsewhere, but like they could just come back like that. The only way to permanently kill them was somehow get them. Actually, I don't think you even could that way. No, you even if they had 0 points, you had to destroy the body. Point is, first step 1, destroy the body. That would kick them out. That would kick the spirit side of them out. You would then need to somehow be able to go into the spirit realm, because when you got kicked out as a spirit, you didn't fall out as a ghost. You got kicked out as a spirit, so you didn't end up hanging out here on the sort of ethereal ghost side of things. You go straight, do not pass go straight to the spirit realm. So the motherfucker trying to take you out now needs to somehow have a way to get to the spirit realm, hopefully right after you do, to not give you time to catch your spiritual breath, because in the spirit realm you can regain your power pretty quickly. So they have to somehow chase you into the spirit realm, engage you in combat there, and force you to spend your last bit of whatever it is, energy, gnosis, ectoplasm, whatever it's called, I forget the name. But once you had that, once they had chased you into the spirit realm, it completely exhausted you, cost you that you have not a single point of your power stat left. Then at that point, if they're able to destroy your spiritual body, it is final death. But if they destroy your spiritual body and they didn't realize that you still had even 1 point of that, you dissipate. But like any other spirit, you slowly reform. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take a year, depending on, at that point it's story. It's just, you go to taste. Sprinkle slow recoalescing to taste as needed. But you do come back as a spirit, and then from there you start regaining again, and you can reform a body back in the real world and be fine, and be absolutely fine. They were one of the hardest things to destroy in the entire game, and I got to play one in a couple of online games, and they were fun. I got to do some real wild bullshit with those, because knowing that I couldn't die and that none of the things I was fighting could chase me into the spirit world meant I got to like do some really wild sacrifices, especially with people who had no idea what I was. And my character had no fear of death at all. It was wild. It was such a good time. It was such a good time. I miss that. So aspects of that are here, but not quite. Like I said, those were indestructible and they could reform their bodies. Here, nah. If your body, you can't heal. In fact, they made a point of that it is kind of a problem that you cannot heal in this game. Your body does not naturally heal. So that's a very different approach. You're probably not going to be quite as cavalier, especially early on when you're still like getting used to it, when you're still like, getting used to the idea that I'm dead, but that's still my body. That's still me. Someone who's been dead for hundreds of years and has switched bodies several times, probably less attached, might be willing to, might be more willing to put that body in harm's way, knowing that they might not be as attached. You know what I mean? Make friends with a good coroner or taxidermist who doesn't ask questions. Exactly. And hey, welcome in, Potato. Welcome in, buddy. Exactly. Like, you're gonna want to have a source of bodies. You're gonna want to have a nice little source of bodies, so you can swap out as needed. But like I said, I could imagine a young dead. A young dead who is still attached to their original body, right? Being less willing to kind of throw it in front of a bus to save a kid or something like that. Whereas a dead has been gone for longer. So we'll see. Anyway, all of that to say that we're about to go to ads before I literally read this one paragraph and then ran out of time because it's ads time again. It's telling me that it's been half an hour, and that means it's time for ads. So once we get back from the ads, folks, we'll once again look at this. I'm excited. I'll stop talking about other games and actually talk about the game we're supposed to be covering. If any of y'all ever look up Purified, World of Darkness or Chronicles of Darkness Purified. Look them up while we're out for ads, and then tell me in chat how broken that shit is. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Ads are done. We did the thing, and we're back, and we're actually looking at a PDF. Look at it on screen. I'm moving my mouse. Holy shit. Technology, it's amazing. It's amazing. And you, my friends, are amazing for being here with me. Now, let's see. So, I'm guessing we're going to see something similar to this in the other lineages. So it looks like for your lineage path as a dead, looks like path skills. I'm guessing we'll get an explanation of this at some point, but we're just gonna figure it out as we go in the meantime, right? So let's see, path skills, empathy, esoterica, and survival are the ones that we get to start with. So I wonder if this means that we all get those skills, or is it some kind of like, if you're in this path, if you're one of the dead, you like these are cheaper, or do you start with a dot in them? Again, hopefully they'll explain at some point in character creation what these path skills are, but apparently these are the things we are either good at or that we start at. Empathy, esoterica, and survival interest. Empathy makes sense because the emotions, right? Esoterica, well, you're a ghost. I'm guessing esoterica is kind of like the occult skill. And then survival as a dead. That seems almost oxymoronic, right? You're the complete opposite of survival. But interesting. Okay. All right, fine. Let's see what that means. We'll see what that means. So major path attributes, minor path attributes. Mental 3, physical 2, social 5, minor, mental 1, physical 1, social 2. Again, don't know what these mean yet. Are these maxes? Are these minimums? Are these... Don't know. Hopefully we'll get an explanation of these at some point. Assets. Family elders, secret haunts, things lost, things found. Again, we'll get an explanation at some point. These all make sense thematically. Your major path, inheritance. Is there a major path and a minor path? Is that it? Major path, inheritance. The dead's nature makes them harder to hurt, and their undead bodies are more resistant to magic than most. When resisting sources of magical harm from area effects or appropriate status effects, gain hits before the roll equal to the character's entanglement. Okay, that's going to be a stat that we're going to figure out. But I like that. Okay, so you have a certain body of magic resistance. Interesting. I like that. So basically, the dead are harder to affect with magic, which perhaps makes sense a little why they are friendlier with sorcerers, right? Because they did say that sorcerers can be kind of like a friendly, useful buddy for them to have, and if they're resistant to magic, that makes sense. Let's see. You can have your lineage or your family as either major or minor. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So your lineage path, and then I guess there's some separate like family paths, which we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Path scales. Got it. Oh, okay. Okay. So like if I go as my major path being dead, my major path, my lineage path is dead, then I guess you start with these, and then on top of that, then I choose to make what's this first one? A Fury. If I decide to make a Fury my minor path, then I additionally get this from the Furies. But if I were to make Furies my major path, then I would get this, and then from the lineage path I would get these. This is what it sounds like. Which, okay, cool. So it sounds like you can either choose to be more default dead, or more default your family, I guess. Kind of. All right. And so I'm guessing the inheritances are from your major path. So if you decide to take your major path as just the dead, then that's what you get. You get magic resistance. And if we were to go look at here, right, and if you were to choose Furies as just a major path, that you would get the ability to apply the Passion's Flaring area effect on the area of magic implications. So each one gives you a different ability. Interesting. I like that. And honestly, the default ghost ability, default dead ability is pretty freaking solid. Like it's resisting damage, resisting magical. It's good. I mean, we'll see what the other lineages, what the families look like specifically very shortly. But I like that the base power is, the base sort of inheritance there is useful and tempting enough that a player is going to go like, okay, no, that's a valid option, as opposed to immediately going to one of the families as their primary choice. Then again, I might look at the families and decide that, nah, this is horribly outbalanced. You should always go family. We'll see how it goes. But I like that approach. I'm a big fan of giving players multiple paths to form their character. So let's see. Damnation. The dead are pushed by their urges to feel emotions and take extreme actions. The more they use their abilities, the more their urge pushes them to act out. Anytime the character curse dice pool reaches 0, her urges overtake her. While in the throes of her urge, she cannot cast spells or gain any new curse die. Resolution: she must take meaningful action to express her urge. If the action she takes inconveniences her or one of her crew, she gains a curse die or momentum, player's choice, after taking the action. Each dead family has a different urge they partake in. To determine which urge your character has, look to the individual families. Interesting. Alright, so it sounds like your curse dice pool is something you spend. So the more you use, okay, that makes sense. The more you use your powers, right? If you have to spend curse die, and if you have to spend curse die to achieve different effects, different things, then yeah, the more you indulge in that, the more you have to use these curse die. Then yeah, you're gonna lose control. Checks out. I'm guessing the mechanics are probably similar. The damnation mechanics are probably similar for the other types of curses. So solid. Makes perfect sense. And then torments. Curses drive all accursed to act in ways that make them monstrous. Choose one of the following. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Choose one of the following torments that affect your character. Anytime your character succumbs to a torment, gain momentum. Corporeal longing. Death has brought a new life. Wait. Death has brought new life, and with it a desire to have new experiences. A character with this torment isn't satisfied with just inhabiting her own body and longs to experience new corporeal forms, no matter what they are. When this torment triggers, the character is overwhelmed with the desire to possess someone or something, even if it's terribly inconvenient. Usually this results in the dead forcing her way into a new human form, but sometimes it leads to a more embarrassing situation, such as possessing a neighbor's small dog or a subway rat, leaving her normal body insensate on the ground. The character might be limited to possessing a nearby cadaver, depending on their entanglement. Interesting. Or yearning for life. Being dead disconnects a character from the living. They forget about you and they move on with their lives. A character with this torment strains against the terror of being left behind. When she succumbs, she must make herself as memorable as possible to those she cares about, from leaving overbearing love notes in unusual places to full-blown poltergeist activity. Alright, so these are the curses that affect your character. Okay, so you choose one, and you basically have this as an option, as a way to gain momentum by indulging effectively, or following, or letting one of your torments affect you. All right, let's look at the families. I should have actually bought something caffeinated before I started streaming. Maybe I'll have a longer break in the middle of the stream, maybe a 15-minute one, so I can go buy something caffeinated later on, maybe. We'll see. All right, in the meantime, let's look at the families. The Furies. Oh, first of all, let me ask you. Dead families are found families made up of people who all share the same urges. Once a dead joins a family, it's very hard to leave it. They take that family is forever stuff seriously. Furies. Their quote is, "They asked for this. They all asked for this." You know how fucking infuriating it is when you feel like you're not in control? People scream at inanimate objects, rage at traffic, and go all incandescent at the slightest scheduling mishap. Now imagine the worst loss of control in your life: your death. So many people die angry. Life was ripped out from under them without giving a shit about what they wanted. Of course, you want revenge for that kind of shit. Alright, so the Furies are the fuck around and find out dead. Time to do some finding out. We're attracted to pain and whip up rage. Our urge is vengeance. We want to revisit pain on the people who... So this is the crow. These are the crow dead. Okay, you want to play the crow? Here you go. You're a Fury. Got it. What they think, that we go quietly into that good night, get a fucking clue. We want them to suffer. We want their anger, their hurt, their suffering, and that all ends if they die on us. It isn't always easy to rein ourselves in. I've got a fucking trail of bodies behind me. What happens after that is harder to say. If you kill your tormentor from life, then what? The Fates tell us to go on to the next, find their loved ones, their friends, their co-workers. Follow that trail down as far as it'll go to get your next indulgence. That's some bleak shit. I personally suggest finding someone who needs help getting revenge and applying our efforts there. Anger drives us, but it doesn't own us. The more you indulge, the worse your anger gets. Don't let that overtake you. You've got an urge, you indulge it, and you move on. Enjoy death in between. Yes, the urge is always there, but you don't have to let that shit define your every moment. Those who do are insufferable. Quiet places help calm the urges. I don't know about other dead, but we always feel better without the constant nattering of people. I like to haunt graveyards, but you'll also find some of my brethren chilling in churches and libraries because they're quiet. Sometimes we'll tell each other stories there. But you don't take us for the contemplative types? Fuck off. Come to the pit. Something about losing yourself in the blast beats and power chords really opens the soul. It gets the blood flowing, if that were a thing that still happened. It's here that we let loose. We let out pent-up rage, pump each other up, blow off steam, and everything in between. Fades are the arbitrators. Once a year, we vote on what I call the rulers. Fades are supposed to make decisions on conflicts and punish rule breakers, but they do a lot of meddling in other people's shit. They do extra stuff like decide who's worthy of vengeance or someone's killed too many times. It's supposed to be fair, but the same assholes get voted in every year. They do a lot of politicking bullshit to sway the votes in their favor. I don't care about that shit. I just toss my vote to whoever will leave me the fuck alone. Interesting. That little bit of like, they have a Yeah, that's weird. A little bit of politics at the everything else, a little bit stereotypical. And then the fades. I mean, also it gives a whole new meaning to like run the fade, right? Let's see, relations. We'll get a target fired, murder and maim his friends, haunt his house, and turn his dog and kitchen utensils against him. We'll do everything before finally performing a dance of death with the shattered soul that sees the victim welcome his demise. Do you know where we learned this practice? Our poltergeist friends. Without them, we'd just be a bunch of butchers. I get with them. Okay, so these are the other just like World of Darkness used to do, right? These are giving the opinions of the other families. So poltergeist taught us how to be sadistic. I get what the mavens are about. They just want to have fun. They might go about it in different ways, but in the end, it's all just there to make you feel better, right? We used to be thick as thieves, but the shades lost the taste for blood. It isn't like we intend to murder people, but it sort of comes with the territory. They didn't like it, so they cut us off. Shame, really. Zeds are about ending things. Every once in a while, you'll catch one swooping in on your victim to end their misery. That fucking killjoy. They can be good partners, but watch out for that killing shit they do so freely. Okay, so the Furies are all about anger, but they're almost specifically they're about anger, but they're also about revenge, and they're making a point that you kind of are a sadistic motherfucker on purpose, because you are not out necessarily to deliver punishment or justice. You're there to deliver vengeance, revenge. You're a dead, so you want those highs of emotions. The Furies are basically psychopaths, and they are serial murderers. But murder is not the point. Murder happens, and it's almost like, oh well, yeah, sometimes we do a little bit of murder, but I mean, they did kind of have it coming, and I just got so into the torturing. You know how it goes. Oh man, Furies are dark. Furies are fucking dark. Alright, I've seen some primal who are murder machines. They can be fucking scary as hell when they want to be. I'd sure like to be their friends, but I haven't figured out the right way to approach anyone yet. That's terrifying. I haven't met an outcast who wasn't a bit of a whiny shit. They're good to have in a fight, but damn, quit boning already. Just bring the fight to the people who put you where you are. It's not rocket science. Others call us all sorts of derogatory names I won't go into here. If they have any sense, they won't call us those things to our faces. Sometimes you get called a vengeance, and that's not so bad. Within the family, we call each other revengers or just furies. We don't get too fancy. We often use our magic to incite rage in others. We love the sound of a mob whipped to a frenzy or a jerk ready to run someone else off the road. You'll find us buttering up close family members of our victims, only to use them against them in the future. Anything to get our revenge or have it play out for others. They do fit in well with the Crow, otherwise known as Robocop for Goths. Yeah, yep, pretty much. Okay, so then if you chose this as your path skills are athletics, close combat, ranged combat. Okay, so fighters. They're very fighty. They're very physical. Yeah, look at that as some major path attributes. Then you have access to martial arts studios, gang members, gravekeepers, libraries, musicians. Berserker's Focus, a spell that we'll look at some point, but it sounds like you get to rage. Once per scene, while incorporeal, you may apply the passion's flaring area effect on the air with a major complication instead of moderate. And then motifs. When casting a spell that acts as an attack, bleed one additional curse die to apply the effect to a second target. Okay, so these are like specifically like tweaks and abilities that you get as a okay, when casting a spell that acts as an attack, bleed one additional curse die to apply the effect to a second target. When casting a spell with the emotional attunement, bleed one additional curse die to apply the frayed temper status effect to the target. When casting a spell with ethereal attunement, bleed one less curse die to a minimum of 0. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I kind of got what's going on here, right? So you have certain abilities, like as a fury, when you're doing a cat, god damn it. He was literally about to he's got a little tower, and it was like it's supposed to be like this. It was already like this, and she was already pulling. I love my cat. I love my cat. He's the best kid. He's the best kid. All right. But yeah, okay. So these are additional things you can do, and if you're casting a spell without attunement, so basically it sounds like a category, kind of like emotional attunement, ethereal attunements. Then you can do this. Oh, with ethereal attunement, you can spend less. They're cheaper for you to cast. Okay, cool. I dig it. So each path, each family within a path gets certain things, certain tweaks that they can do to certain types of magic. Cool. Dig it. And then play a Fury if you want to, play an Angel of Vengeance. Okay, cool. So some quick examples of the kinds of characters that they expect for playing this family. Very cool. Play an Angel of Vengeance, sweeping across the city, leaving a trail of dead in your wake. Participate in the most manic, rage-filled raves in cemeteries and abandoned factories, and cauterize injustices with extreme prejudice. Love it. Okay, big fan of Furies. Love the Furies. And like Potato said, definitely fits in with that sort of the crow stereotype and idea. Now let's talk about the Mavens. What fun we are to be around. Do you remember the rush of excitement from your first kiss, or the thrill of surviving a near-death experience, the jolt of electricity that goes through you when you accidentally cut your finger, the flood of endorphins as shock sets in after a traumatic injury? I do, bitch, and I miss the shit out of it. You only live once, right? Except in our case, we get a second chance at life through this horrible, half-alive, cursed existence. You might as well make the most of it. Even in death, it's good to make time to enjoy yourselves. Us Mavens take this to, shall we say, the extreme. Oh, honey, there's no other way to take it. Our urges lead us to inspire a thrill, pain, joy. Honestly, it doesn't matter. We're always searching for a high that comes from sensation. Okay, so I'm getting immediately right off the bat. Just kind of swirl it, take a sniff, and I'm getting a little bit of Cult of Ecstasy. I'm getting a little bit of Satyr. These are, I mean, the dead are already they're big on emotions, and these guys are big on emotions and parties, right? So those are the whiffs that I'm getting. Let's see. Let us go on. We just adore new experiences. Life has so many ups, downs, and turnarounds, and we want to see them all. Just because we can't feel the emotions doesn't mean someone shouldn't. Think of all those things you shied away from in life. Wouldn't you kill for a chance to do them now that you know how things turned out? Mind you, some of us can get up to some freaky shit in pursuit of a rush. I wouldn't ask too many questions about what the sensates are doing. Variety is the spice of life. What's the fun in using the same technique day in and day out to get a rise from people? Other dead might be content to fall into tedium. Not me, sweetie. I find a new experience every night. Some people think this makes us shallow. Just because we don't sit around blithely accepting whatever death has on offer doesn't make us superficial. It takes a lot of self-reflection to be this fabulous. The living have something we can never get back. They should value it. We like to remind people of that. Okay, so maybe it's not some huge self-sacrifice to bring people joy and excitement. I never said we were doing this just for them. So what if we satisfy ourselves? They're getting something out of it too. Our family is divided. There's two sides of the debate, and no one can agree to disagree. The way it used to work was you'd make a contract with someone. They agreed, and you helped them experience something extreme, no takebacks. Those are the sensates. The modernists put forward continuous consent as a standard, and the contract can be voided at any time. Either way, the contract is the most important aspect, and you must abide by what you agree to. Now, no one is watching to see if you break it, but listen, darling, if you do, and I find out, I'll rip your dead head off your shoulders. And I'm not even the worst. The sensates are far more into pain than pleasure, and they'll take their urges out on you as punishment. And finally, we throw the best parties. Every other family will go on about why their style of party is the best. Believe me when I tell you, honey, that no one parties like a maven. The music is perfect, the decorations are on point, and everyone has a good time. No self-respecting Maven would have it any other way. I like the Mavens. Again, we've got that party hardy vibe. There's probably a lot more to them. I'm looking forward to Family Book Maven and the dark secrets that surely they hold. Let's see, relations with a few of the others. So what do they think about? If you're looking for a powerful engine with a nitro injection system, look no further than the Furies. I almost read that as the Furries, which sounds to me like probably a really good way to get my ass handed to me by a Fury. They spread zero happiness, unless you count their smiles as they brutalize, but one cannot fault their vigor. We've been given a second chance at existence, and all the poltergeists want to do is scare people away from experiencing it. It's a tragic waste. Wardens want to help desperate people. What a lofty goal, and one I can appreciate. Too bad most of them fail to uphold such a standard and end up making a mess of people's lives instead. Zeds are the darkest fetish. Undeniably cool, but extremely risky, like snorting powder from the barrel of a loaded gun. We can't get enough of them, and we're one of the few lodges to get them to wear their hair down. We've got a lot in common with the hungry, and they appreciate our sensibilities in turn. I'm pretty sure we got the contract idea from them, though they won't weigh in on the debate. And I'm pretty sure the outcasts are the only other accursed with a true understanding of the value of their lives. They're cast-offs, and yet they still persist, finding joy in their own ways. I honestly admire them. The others call us hedonists and libertines. If they are feeling old school, they'll call us sensates, but you have to correct them if you aren't actually one. The family is divided between sensates and modernists. We call groups by that name, and individuals are just mavens. Oh, we call groups by that name, and individuals are just mavens. Got it. Cool. We use our magic to heighten people's emotions while we give them an experience. Our contracts often involve possession, with people agreeing to let us take direct control over the bodies for a short time. So artistry, culture, persuasion, big on social, thrill seekers, addicts, professionals, amusement parks, seizing the spotlight, whatever the name of the spell is a bit evocative, I think. Then major path inheritance. Once per scene, while incorporeal, you may apply the overstimulating area effect on a... Okay, cool. So haunting thing. And what are your motives? Okay, so I'm seeing a pattern here. Basically, you can spread the effect of a particular type of magic. You can amplify the effect of another particular type of magic. And sometimes you might get to use a particular type of magic without having to spend as much. Those seem to be the motifs, the general vibes of each of these paths. I'm getting the idea here, and I like it. They have specific things that they are good at, and I like that it's categories of skills that they're good at. It's yeah, that's a good approach. I like this. Let's see. So you play a Maven if you want to experience all the joys of existence life denied you. If you want to open the eyes of others to the extremes of pleasure and pain, we have such things to show you. And you want to make the sad happy, give the lonely company, and help struggling mortals live their best life. Who wouldn't want that? Cool. I like Mavens. I'm interested. So this, it feels... I feel like there should be a deeper dive, and perhaps there would be in the full book, maybe a sidebar, or maybe if they ever make like you know, I don't know if they'd make like full family books, but if they made like dedicated books for each accursed, right, for each lineage, maybe we'd see more about these contracts. Although it seems like they're not magical contracts. It seems like it's more of it's a thing they do. It's a thing they do. It's an approach, and it's more like, okay, sensates are more old school about their contracts and how they're ironclad, and once you sign, you go through with it, versus the modernists that are more like, all right, are you still cool with this? Your safe word is banana, kind of thing, right? That's what it sounds like. I don't think there's, but I think that in a way is almost a bit of a missed opportunity if that's not actually a thing that happens. If there is no supernatural aspect, it's just a social thing, fine. fine, but we're already playing supernaturals, right? So I'd like it if there is a supernatural aspect to that. I don't see it here yet, and I'm curious to see if we are. That it feels like an aspect of that family that deserves diving deeper into. Also, I'm just generally a fan of like contract magic, so I'm real curious to see how that'll go. And on that note, before we dive into Poltergeist, who, boy, oh boy, look at that! I thought the Furies, aka the Furries, were the edgelord dead type, but oh boy, Poltergeist, don't fear the dark, fear me. Sure, buddy, sure. We'll get right to you right after these messages, because it is that time again. All right, people, bear with me. We'll be back in a minute and 30-ish seconds. Bye-bye. All right, settle down. We're back. And we're looking at these, these edgelords. Look at these guys. Don't fear the dark, fear me. All right, I'm gonna need a voice for these. I'm gonna need a voice. Let me hydrate real quick. Oh boy. Because these guys are gonna deserve something, right? They're gonna. You don't get to be this this creeptastic here, and not get some kind of voice on your thing. So let's see. What are we going? It's okay to be scared. Fear is a survival instinct. It keeps you out of danger and ostensibly keeps you alive. It's no wonder so many people die afraid. Their bodies are screaming at them to get you, save themselves, make themselves small so the danger doesn't get them. It's a lesson that sticks with you. Fear is natural. It's a normal reaction, and it's oh so easy to evoke. I mean, I don't need a voice. They're starting to get to grim derp levels of dark and edgy. Well, no, like if you're gonna go grim derp, I have to give a voice. I mean, I have. Let me see. Wait. Can I do something here? Give me a second. I got something. I got something for you. I can do this. You know what? Wait, no, do I not have this? Did I uninstall it? Oh, don't tell me I uninstalled it. No, I thought I did. Hey, Daniel Stevens, welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. I recognize, okay, I know who you are. I see that user icon on chat. No worries, lurk away. I appreciate you being here. I see the chat over there too. I forget that I have multi-chat and I can see everybody here. So cool, lurk away, my friend. Lurk away. All right, I'm gonna spend 30 seconds maximum to see if I find the thing I'm looking for. And if I don't find it, we'll just keep going and I'll just do the voice myself. Oh no, I do have it here. Here we go. Okay, so I have this here. Am I able to, I don't know if this is gonna be worth it. Bear with me. folks, ladies and gentlemen, this may be worth it, but more likely not. More likely, I am just filling up empty space here. Okay, maybe this is not working. I don't see anything. Did it not pop up? Is it not? Nah, I guess this isn't gonna work. Well, oh well, we tried, folks. We tried, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of stuff that I should have tried before the stream, but I didn't know I was gonna have to go full edgelord to the stream before we got to the poltergeists. So alas, we're gonna have to do it live. All right. We're the ones who foment panic. Our urge is terror, tugging at you from an unseen place. When you're alone in a room and you feel like someone's watching, it's us. You don't just jump at shadows. You jump because we made you. When the lights go out and you're all alone, we're the one touching your arm. This isn't just a jump scare. Sure, you might get a jolt of fear from a quick jump or a gory scene, but that doesn't really satisfy the urge. It wants creeping dread. You want to stay with one person, haunting them for so long that they begin to question reality. It pushes you to play with them over and over again until one of you breaks. Everyone knows what it's like to be afraid. Our very existence as dead is terrifying, and fear is a constant companion. It's okay to be a little afraid of yourself. In fact, I'd encourage it. If you understand your own fear, you can use it to temper yourself. We settle into our haunts. Usually it's a place, but sometimes it's a single person. We like places people already fear to go, building its lore by scaring everyone who enters. Some people dread to step foot inside. When we haunt people, the urge makes us relentless. Every waking moment is a nightmare for our victims. Fear teaches a lesson. The lesson isn't specific like the shades. Dread and paranoia change a person. They start to avoid the things that evoke those feelings. If you play it right, you can make even the most mundane object into a subject of terror. Some of us seek out people who might be in need of such a lesson. Maybe it's an addict who's hurting herself, or a criminal who's endangering his family. It's a small consolation for the things we have to do. I'm gonna stop with the voices. I can only keep this for so fucking long, and these guys are cringe. All right, look, I'm gonna read the rest. Cool, but holy shit, they are edgelordy. Jesus Christ, this is wild. Fear teaches a lesson, and the lesson is, I'm Batman. All right, so the Batman family, good. Welcome to the Batman family of the dead. Intra-family politics are wild. We don't have a lot of rules when it comes to dealing with the living. You can do what you like to them, as long as you don't infringe on another poltergeist territory. We have so many rules on how you interact. We have so many rules on how you interact with family. You must respect your elders. Elders being anyone who has been dead longer than you. You must ask permission to haunt. You must declare a territory. You must ask for permission to visit someone else's territory. Some real vampire vibes here. You must ask an elder to help you find a new body. The list goes on. And sometimes the interactions are wildly arcane and you find yourself out of bounds fast. Anyone older can arbitrate between two others, so if you piss off someone in the oldest groups, they may just mete out justice on their own. Okay, so this is interesting, and I wonder if we're going to continue seeing this as a pattern. These guys here, the Furies, right? The Furies are fuck around and find out, and violence and all that stuff, and go to the pit, but also they have the Fades, and there's a politics aspect to them. Then we've got the Mavens, and Mavens are just built social, right? They're all about social. Then our family is divided, and they throw the best party. So there's built-in social to them. But with the Furies, it feels like, oh, here's these extra tacked on like social politics. And then now with the Poltergeists, we have kind of the same thing, where they have, at least amongst themselves, arcane rules and systems and all that stuff between themselves. So that's interesting. I like that. Like I said, I'm curious if we're going to see this as a pattern where every family, and I think we are, because they do make a point of saying that families are, you know, complex, right? Families and your family politics and dealing with other people's in your capital F family, supernatural family, is kind of a major part of this game, right? So this, it makes sense. I am expecting now to see this among the rest of them. So let's see. Grand wakes are joyous affairs. It can't be all terror all the time. I don't know, man. You made it sound like it was, buddy. You made it sound like it really was. We laugh and dance to blow off steam. We also do more subdued gatherings. Peer groups often meet weekly to do confessionals and talk about all our baggage. It looks a bit like an AA meeting where everyone tells their story and the rest lend a comforting ear. I try to make them when I can, even if I don't think I need the help. So here's how you bring them back to Earth. Here's how you humanize them again, which they desperately needed, given just the sheer amounts of edge. Oh boy, so edgy. Like, this almost feels... Because, okay, look, the Furies, they're understandable. I can see Furies of all ages. People are gonna die angry, and some of the angriest people are the oldest. But Poltergeist almost feels like it would be teenagers, certain flavors of weeb, and actual psychopaths. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm still on board. I think these sound like fun. I could see some really fun characters, but I would not be able to take these characters seriously outside of it. It's good that they're trying to humanize them a little here at the end, and you know, long play, sure, but for a one shot or an adventure, I would have so much fun with this. They would get no respect from me at all. Jeez, no respect from me. Let's see their relations. The wardens think they can turn their curse to their favor. It's cute to watch them fight against their urges and try to instill hope. We haven't met the wardens yet, but we will. We'll be there for them when they ultimately fail and need to pick up the pieces. I love the Furies and what they do. I just wish they didn't go to such extremes. They find out pretty quick that you can't keep up that level of vengeance without blowing your top. If only they could learn to pace themselves. See, that's where they say that they kind of had a falling out. To me, it is what I think I am versus what I actually am. Yes, exactly. It is very much that. I mean, the old World of Darkness games had that whole nature and demeanor, which is what I actually am versus what I show the world, right? So I like the Furies are the actual ones that you play if you want to play the Crow, but the Poltergeists are the ones that dress like the Crow. Whereas the Furies they're just gonna be angry and they don't care. They're less about the theatrics. I mean, they're still about the theatrics, but less about pure theatrics. Unlike the Poltergeist here. You'll find some good friends within the Shades. They certainly keep us close. I find their lack of organization a little off-putting, though I can commiserate with always being nitpicked by elders. The Seds are stuffy, but I can respect their commitment to the bit. If you need someone with great organizational skills, there's no better person to have on your team. Phagophobia, the fear of being consumed. Uncommon, but visceral enough to make the hungry interesting companions and cases for study. Interesting. I like how they brought that in. Like, why would I be friend with a hungry? Because they're all about fear. Like, right, each path is an emotion, right? So Furies are anger, Mavens are lust for life, basically. kind of. Poltergeists are fear. Let's see. Could you imagine joining up with a primal? Think of all the terror you can instill with one of them by your side. They seem to like us okay enough, maybe because we've never tried to push them like others have. Other dead call us phantoms. Okay, so phantoms are also poltergeists. Because we spend so much time outside our bodies, you might hear someone call you a night terror as well. Within our family, you simply refer to each other by name. If that person is your elder, you best be putting a formal prefix such as Miss or Mr. in front of it, though. We use our magic to possess and move objects more than any other dead. You'll even find some of us who have taken on a doll or scarecrow as a new body. Oh boy, you can be a creepy doll. I mean, look, edge and all, but you can be a creepy doll. Hard to argue with the chance to be a creepy doll. Let's see. We like to work with the physical world to invoke terror rather than just manipulating an emotional state. See, I like that. I like that they have that approach. That they are effectively the practical effects specialists of the dead. Where they're like, no. We don't use CGI here. It's all practical. It's all puppets. It's all actual props. All right. We keep it old school around here. And I, for one, as a horror fan, sincerely appreciate that. All right, so larceny, pilot, and technology. Yeah, that checks out. That checks out for what you're selling me here. All of these skills check out for that family cell. And then if you choose the family as your major path, big focus on physical, some on social. All right, cool. You get access to haunted houses, living families that you haunt, grieving spouses, mortuaries. Yeah, solid. Ooh, you got 2 spells, Gloom Strike and Nightmares. Major Path Inheritance. Once per scene, while incorporeal, you may apply the draw. Okay, so it looks like all of the Major Path Inheritances for the families are mostly about what an extra thing that you can do while incorporeal. Interesting. Okay, motifs. So the special things that you can do as a Polty, as a Phantom. +1 enhancement when casting a spell with a psychic tool. So you're better at psychic spells. You can use liminal spells cheaper, and you can use emotional spells, or you can empower emotional spells to do more. Cool. Like it. Play a poltergeist if you want to overcome the fear that held you back as one of the living, terrify your victims into becoming better people, or just for fun, or you want to play a creepy ghost possessing an even creepier ventriloquist dummy. That third one there is how you sell this family to me. Yeah. Also how you make it so that this game will never be played at Dave's place because his partner will not abide creepy dolls. So as much as I love this idea, I'll never get to play this probably for the podcast anyway. It's gonna have to be that's gonna be a personal one. It's gonna be, you know, this game needs some solo rules, some solo play rules. All right, next, possess a car. I don't know. You wouldn't possess a car, like you wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't possess a car. Now, somebody make that. Somebody quick Photoshop that up. But yeah, you could possess a car, do the whole carry thing. Not Carrie, sorry, Jesus Christ, not Carrie. Carrie's the girl. How am I? Christine is the name of the car, right? Yeah. No, the car and demon was possessed. No. The car and demon was not possessed. That was just the car. If it had been possessed, they would have had an easier time with it. All right. Do not assign to supernatural malice what can be quite easily explained by supernatural ineptitude. Our dear protagonist demons were just doofuses. They really were. I mean, none of them even considered for a second that money might have been a needed thing either in the real world. How much trouble it gave you, there's no way it wasn't possessed. No, it wasn't possessed. It was just a normal object. Our protagonists were just dorks. Demonic, supernaturally dorky. The biggest threat to the supernatural, the incredibly mundane. True. Very true. All right, give me a second, folks. Just checking something real quick. Okay, cool. All right, now let's see here. Shades. So, okay, so now we've got sadness. So the emotion for these appears so fear, and now sadness. The sads, as the as psychologists, I believe, refer to them. The technical term is the sads. They will look at a patient and they will write on their little chart the sads. So let's see what the shades bring. Let's get sad. Let's get sad, my friends. Shocker. Some take satisfaction from sorrow. I know, it's not actually a shock. Nobody blames the fucking musician who writes a sad song about a breakup. Nobody thinks it's wrong to laugh when someone falls on their ass. Misery strengthens us. Accept it. The downfall of others makes us feel better. Misery forms the strongest, most vital memories. And we remember. Everyone dies with some regret. Where others might desire some sense of closure, us shades would rather hang on to that misery and bring ruin just to sing songs about our victims. We take satisfaction in harassing those guilty of unpunished sins, no matter how large or small. We're the omens of ill fortune. We're the shadow you can't bear to face because you see your sins looking back at you from the darkness. We're the desolate dead, and ruins our provenance. This is giving me a little edgelord too. Boy, the dead are real dramatic. But you know what? I'm kind of hoping that all the accursed. I mean, you're called the accursed. I mean, there's gonna be drama. It's a spiritual success of the world of darkness. You gotta bring the drama. You gotta bring the drama. And honestly, I'm sure if I went back and cracked some of the old World of Darkness books, 100%, there is writing every bit as purple. Prose just as purple in all the other stuff. So if nothing else, they are following in the footsteps of giants. Just diving right into those footsteps. Big old footsteps. We seek out the guilty and spread misery. Our urge is the downfall of the deserving. Guilt can break a person or change them for the better. Make the guilty feel that guilt and take your pleasures from their sorrow. We like to draw out our urges, creating long-form dramas and tragedies in people's lives. We cultivate some of the worst people to take to task. It brings some peace to think that these events are learning lessons for our victims. But for most, the satisfaction of bringing a shitheel his just desserts is more important than any life lesson he might get out of it. Okay, so this is how I'm playing this character now. As so far, I'm playing a shade. I am immediately spending all my points on whatever points need to be spent to have the skills to work for a Mr. Elon Musk. And then I display a campaign, 28 sessions, bit by bit, episode by episode, 3 hours each, detailing the miseries and torments I visit. Oh. Anyway, get ready for that. Coming out early November. Curseborne solo play, long-term campaign, just me. Just 3 hours at a time, detailing the various tortures that I visit upon one Mr. Musk. But following the rules of the game completely, I'll be rolling. So into hearing this. Good. I'm glad I'm preaching to the choir here. All right, let's see. We don't kill. For most, death terminates the possibility of reflection. We haunt the living for a purpose. Also, if you kill them, there goes all the fun. Again, I'm you know what? So far, I'm liking the shades. They're a little edgy, but I mean, yes, you gotta be edgy. You gotta edge. I heard it when I said it. Our family is the most disorganized. There's the elders at the top and the rest of us who listen to their long-winded stories of conquest we've heard 1,000 times. There's only one rule. Show up to the party with a story. But if you think no rules means anything goes, you better think again. Oh no, the elders like to pick apart every little thing you do, critiquing your methodology, the frequency of your indulgences, and anything else you can think of. While there's no restrictions on activities like possession and manipulation, everyone has strong opinions on the topics. Less scrupulous shades go all in for taking over a life, while more conservative ones expect you to rough it for the good of everyone around you. If you need a new body, you better ask a direct elder what their preferred method is, or you might get an earful, or worse. Hey, welcome in, buddy. Welcome in over on the Twitch side. And yeah, gotta edge fast. Our parties include dramatics. We love ruining the ultra rich and corrupt because fuck those guys. And then telling tales of it on our grand wakes. The one-upsmanship between shades is legendary, filled with dramatic storytelling, backroom deals, and not a little bit of alcohol. I'm loving shades. Actually, okay, you know what? I started off, you know, talking a little bit of shit, you know, because let's fake it. There's a little bit of edge there that you gotta kind of like, you know, accept. Let the edge flow through you. Let it edge. Through the edge, and then you go through the edge to the other side where there is only edge. But now I'm Team Shade. I'm liking the shades after all. I am liking the overall vibe of Fight the Man that Curseborne brings. I still think that those first 5 paragraphs need to be real careful. Might get toned down a little, because they really do make the game sound a lot less fun than it actually is looking like as we go in. Because I'm liking this now. This Fight the Rich is exactly haunt the rich. Let's see. Our parties include dramatics. We love ruining Okay, relations. Okay. Let's see what they think about a few of the other groups. So we haven't met the Wardens yet, but we have a long-standing feud with the Wardens due to our targeting the mortal family with one of our guild games a while back. The result was a whole bunch of them dying in misery and coming over to our family post-mortem. The situation's tense, to put it mildly, but they can fuck off if they want an apology. Okay, interesting. Don't know who these are yet. The poltergeists are our closest allies. We both like to drive people to a form of awakening, though our methods differ considerably. Death ought to be a method of elevation, but you need to climb on the corpses of others to reach the top of the stack. Seds would rather just bury the corpses. We party with the Mavens often enough that they've grown on us. Their penchant for pain can be fun, even if it feels a little mean-spirited sometimes. Primals are a little too tempestuous for our tastes, though we work wonderfully with the Hrafen, happily exchanging information on people in need of visitation and punishment. While some dead consider the 8 hands strange beyond understanding, they connect with our family like professional peers. Don't know who the Hrafen or the 8 hands are yet, but excited to meet them now that we know that they are friends of the Shades, who we like, our friends, the Shades. Let's see, we know the inner workings of the human mind. Sorcerers know the secrets of the universe. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. We'll see who ends up more depressed. Okay, I like that little ending. I like the little ending. I'm so excited to get the sorcerers, but sorcerers haven't even been released yet. I think they'll be released maybe next week. I don't know if we'll get to them by then, but we'll see. We'll see where we go. All right. Let's see. Other people call us omens and hell's ravens. Neither are meant to insult, though that omen bit is a tad on the nose. Among the family, we call ourselves Shades. You might hear some old folks using gentle sir, woman, and when you're feeling formal, you can use ruiners. We use our magic to push people to act in dramatic ways that will out their guilt. We push and prod until the breaking point, then push them one step further. Some view it as cruelty, but life's lessons always feel a little cruel. But you know what isn't cruel? Hanging around during the ad break while I run those ads real quick, because I just got the alert right now. Let's go ahead, let's do them. Let's get rid of those ads out of the way. 1 minute, 30 seconds, and then we'll be right back, and we will finish reading on the Shades and get to finally meet the Wardens. Excited for that. Bear with me. See y'all real soon. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have for the shades path? What path skills do we get? Culture, esoterica, and persuasion. Okay. Okay. Yeah, those make sense. Those make sense. Let's see. Major path attributes. So they're a little bit more spread even. They're a little bit more spread even all over the place. Or they're but the more of a focus on social makes sense, but you know, a little bit of everywhere. Cool. They have access to reformed cops, corporate holdings, guilty CEOs, and prisons. Interesting. They get the secret spell Unreality. I cannot wait to get to the powers, but those are going to be much later on. And then major path inheritance. This is again what you get if you choose this family as your major path. When incorporeal, you affect a miserable atmosphere, creating an area effect, making the people in close range guilty and paranoid. Everyone in the area has a minor complication of mental or social actions. Failure to buy it off inflicts the guilt-ridden status effect towards you. Interesting. Okay, so basically you go ghost, right? You go ghost and you make everyone feel guilty and paranoid, which, you know, fun for the whole family. Let's see your motif. So you can if you're casting a spell, an emotional category, an emotional attunement spell, you can spend curse die to learn a single secret about someone in the scene. That's really interesting. It's a little different from the ones we've seen so far, which are just like little bonuses, like this one, like, you know, expanding to a second target. Look at this. You can cast spells with the emotional attunement as a reflexive action. I'm guessing these would stack. I wonder if spells can have multiple attunements, like it can be emotional and psychic. I wonder. I guess once we get to spells, we'll see. Because, I mean, my curiosity, because if it is possible, right, then would it be possible to, if you have enough curse die, I guess, cast a spell that is both emotional and psychic, and bleed a curse die so you're affecting two people, and then bleed another curse die to learn, or bleed two more curse dice, I guess. Well, no, because there's a single secret about someone in the scene, so that's not necessarily someone who you're affecting with the spell. Just if they're in the scene, you can spend that and get the secret. I love this, but this also almost feels abusable. Like, what do you mean by a single secret? Like, what is a single secret? Like, how useful is it going to be? I feel like there should be a system to this, because not every GM is gonna know what to do with that. I wonder if there is. I wonder if maybe in a story guide section they'll go like, all right, examples of secrets that you can have about, like, you know, I don't know. This, I feel like this was a little dangerous, but I like it. I just little dangerous. Might need to be reworded. Something, not sure yet. Everything else, love it. Play a shade if you want to portray someone with a mountain of sin for which they need to repent. Deliver the unjust and the unpunished to reflect on their actions, or enjoy a fiercely competitive and artistic undead experience in a haze of smoke and alcohol. Which, I mean, who doesn't? Freaking life goals. I too would like to. Actually, no, I'm not a fiercely competitive guy. I think that's my problem. I think that's why I've ended up effectively dropping out of corporate America, because I am not this one, the fiercely competitive. This is not me. I am not a fiercely competitive person. I am not even a mildly competitive person. And when I do compete, it is only against my dearest friends. And when I play against my friends, I don't play to win. I play to make them lose. That is my philosophy to playing games with my friends. I love you, therefore I want you down in the mud with me here. I will not let you reach that peak. I love you. Stay here with me in the filth and the dark. And that is how I play board games with my friends. Again, I do not play to win. I play to make my friends lose. Because that is how I show love. I don't think that counts as competitive. so much as deranged. Not sure if there's officially a word for the kind of person who shows love. Like, what is your love language? My love language is making sure you do not win this game of Monopoly, my friend. That is my love language. Sadistic. Sadistic might be the correct word. You know, but that one hurts my feelings. So I'd rather it wasn't. Everything else about this, though, an artistic undead experience in a haze of smoke and alcohol, I'm down. You know. All right, let us meet the wardens. Everybody's mentioned the wardens. Let's meet the wardens. When you help your fellows, you help yourself. Oh no, are these good guys? Are these good boys and girls? I think they are. They're gonna make me like them. But are they secretly bad? Let's find out. Mother says we should help those in need. It's a natural human inclination to help those around us. Adults protect kids who aren't even theirs because it's hardwired into them. When people witness an emergency, they jump to help. When disaster strikes, nations band together. Helping those in need is the highest form of altruism. Mother knows best. Excuse me. The Mommy Issues family. The Mommy Issues family. This is sounding like Nurgle talk. Yes, Papa Nurgle. Papa Nurgle knows best. Papa Nurgle says we should help those in need. Right? Yeah, this is real nurgly. This is real nurgly. Unless you were talking about my desire to see my friends fail, in which case, no, nothing nurgly about that. Papa Nurgle knows best. She's the oldest of the wardens and the leader of our family. We all look to her for guidance. And she blesses us with her wisdom. Some say she speaks with angels. Others say she has a line directly to some other higher power. Either way, her word is law. Listen well, my sibling. The law might be simple, but it's rarely easy to follow. Protect others while doing as little harm as possible. We save. Protection can come in many forms, from lending a helping hand when someone is down on their luck to literally being a physical impediment to danger. Our urges drive us to seek out desperation, to create it in others. Mother has taught us to turn our urges into hope through assisting the desperate. Wardens have a higher calling. Our dead cousins' urges cause them to hurt or scare people in pursuit of an emotion. Not us, though. We act to uplift and help. If someone gets hurt, it's because they got in our way. Mother doesn't like it when we're sloppy. We're born special. Many of us were born into this curse, descending in a direct line from Mother. Others have joined because they believe in her cause. We are siblings, each of us, regardless of prior living relations. Many of our living relatives will one day join the ranks of the dead. Even if they don't join Mother's cause, they are our cousins, one and all. Following Mother's teachings is difficult. Some stray from the path, indulging their urge to cause desperation rather than heal it. It's okay, because they're still our siblings. Those who have strayed are still welcomed at the tables and parties. No one has strayed so far that they can't learn from their mistakes. Mother makes sure of it. Community is key, and wardens stick together. We celebrate what brings us together, and our parties are monthly communals. Our cousins might liken them to religious affairs, as we share the word of Mother, share news of those who need aid, and rededicate ourselves to our siblings and our cause. Mother doesn't always show up to our parties. I've never actually met her myself. They say she doesn't have a body anymore, which makes it harder to know. Many see this as a sign of her dedication to never cause harm to others and try to emulate her. It doesn't go well for them. Mother is the only one of us powerful enough to stave off the effects of being without a body. I've heard rumors that some believe Mother is lost to us, but that's ridiculous thinking. Okay, first of all, the wardens are creepy as fuck. They're creepy as fuck. I was not expecting them to be this creepy. So their emotion is desperation. They cause it and they heal it. And this whole mother thing. Oh, they're creepy. They're so creepy. I like them. I was ready to hate on the wardens. I came in and I got that first whiff of cop, honestly. They gave me cop vibes and the way other people talked about them a little bit, and they still give me cop vibes, but creepy cultist vibes better. Creepy cultist vibes, hell yeah. They are creepy and I like it. I am impressed with the wardens. I was not expecting Mother Skinner proficient in guilt trip. Yes. I was not expecting to like these. I am liking it so far. Let's see what they think of the others. The Mavens are so addicted to joy that they've lost sight of how happiness could be a reward. They cheer our names when our missions go well, but swiftly turn to mockery when we fail. They have a sadistic streak I just can't stop. You know what they say about digging 2 graves, except in your case, we imagine you're gonna need to dig at least a dozen. I'll pray for you, Cousin Furies, but we'll still help you with the shoveling, for you are cousins. Mourning is a completely natural part of grief, my sibling, but a time comes for us to lift the mourners out from the darkness and show them the light. We must fix our shade, cousins. They need the light. Oh, they're talking shit. They're talking shit on the shades, and shades are my favorites. Ooh, I like these. Oh, bless your hearts, Furies. Bless their hearts. Oh. Okay, so now I'm thinking that the wardens are from like Minnesota. Now I'm imagining all the wardens with a Minnesota accent. I can't. Don't ask me to do one. I can't do it. I'm no good at accents. I cannot do a Minnesota accent. Maybe if I got some practice, I'd have to hear one for a while and then I could maybe pick it up. But don't ask me to do one now. I cannot. Let's see. I believe poltergeists are truly trying to help people, even if their methods leave a bad taste in my mouth. If they would embrace Mother's word, they might be the best of us. I feel bad for the hungry, for they are insatiable and there's truly no helping them. Maybe I feel bad because I see their own desires mirroring my own, and know that I too can never know satisfaction, no matter what I do to try. The outcasts, on the other hand, are the exact kind of desperate that we love. They have lost everything and want it all back. Find one worthy of your help, and maybe you'll find your own deliverance. Others call us guardians, or sometimes cousins, in mimicry of what we call them. The nasty ones call us cultists. I wonder where they get that from. I wonder where they get that idea. We call ourselves siblings. Only Mother gets any honorifics. We use our magic in pursuit of helping others. We offer protection and succor to those in need. While we try our damnedest to do no harm, if someone threatens a ward, we do not shy away from responding with force. It's better to protect someone forever than for just a day or two. I think I know what they mean there. Alright, so you get leadership, medicine, and science. Cool. Big focus on mental and social. Alright. Mutual aid groups, addicts, advocacy programs, hospital and church. Yeah, checks out. Simpatico is their spell. Curious. I cannot wait to see what these actually are, what they do. Major path inheritance. Once a scene per incorporeal. Okay, so their ability is they can deliberately appear in someone's peripheral vision, distract them from their task, and give them the confused status effect. Cool, right? Area of confusion. I dig it. Motifs. Casting a spell, you may bleed a curse die to apply the. Oh. Interesting. So you're able to cast spells that are supposed to be only on yourself. You're able to cast them on others. You can use emotional spells cheaper, and you can use support spells Which, by the way, I've said this in previous streams. I really like support classes and support roles in games, even in video games. I like to play healers and support. I'm a support player. I don't do DPS. I don't do sniper. I don't do tanks. I do support. I like to heal. I'm a heal bot, and/or heal slut, depending on if you're nice to me or not. So I'm torn because I don't want to play a warden, but at the same time, I kind of really want to play a warden. Oh, I kind of really want to play one because, their whole culty thing. Do what you must. I mean, their whole culty thing. But also, they are still like helping. There's so much I could do with that. There's so much fun I could have with that. They would be so much fun to play. I'm pro this. I'm like, look, this is great. So far with pretty much every family, Mother loves you. Have some heals. Yeah, exactly. So far every family I've seen, even when you go full edgelord like the poltergeists. So far my reaction to all of them have been like, oh, this would be so cool to play with this. They're all cool concepts. I haven't found one yet that I think I would not in some level enjoy, and I am definitely digging that. All right, so let's see. You want to play a warden if you want to rebel against the family who raised you. Okay, so cool. That's the first thing that they interesting actually that they give. That's the first option they give you, because so far, I mean, this is a hard balance to take, right? Because these are like the fact that everything is presented kind of in character. And I think I saw a complaint from somebody on the Kickstarter forums, which I at the moment kind of dismissed, but with hey, him out, thanks as always so much for hanging out. Welcome in, and thank you for the good wishes over on YouTube. But I saw somebody complain saying, hey, everything we're learning about the world, it's basically all in character, right? It's all being told to us in this sort of in character, in world, diegetic voice. But because of that, almost by default, this is all untrustworthy, right? Which can be fine, but also for people that might be looking at the book, looking for some specific answers, I don't know. I don't think, like, they posted as a complaint. I don't see it as a complaint. It's just an approach. It's something that you have to keep in mind, that these are being presented as in-world answers from like in-world people. They are gonna have their own agendas. They're gonna lie in favor of what they want. But that means that as a game reference, it lowers the value of that information a little, right? And so I think they were asking, like, is there going to be like specific, definitive answers to some of this stuff? And I don't think they've replied back, and I doubt we'd get that. If we did, it would be something in like a path book or a family book supplement or something, I'm guessing later. Because Old World of Darkness stuff like had the same thing. A lot of the stuff was presented sort of in character, and even the stuff that wasn't in character, that was more of a written in game voice, was still like left up to the storyteller to a sort of point. It was still like, okay, well, here's a few different ways this might go. These are some of the rumors regarding this, but any of them could be real, or nobody really knows about this or that. I mean, there were some established facts about history and everything, but a lot of it was left up to the storyteller as well in terms of individual details. So yeah, potato, exactly. Like I'm guessing the story guide is going to decide what is canon and not canon for their own table. But kind of only vaguely related to that is the fact that since this is all sort of presented to us in character, all this stuff about Mother and everything, and they do mention that some stray from the path and all that stuff. But it almost feels a little jarring that after so much talking about like how dedicated and kind of culty they are, the first option you get is like, all right, you play one of these if you want to rebel against that. Which, valid choice. But there really, like I felt there wasn't enough built up about that potential for that to be the first thing that you show me. It's just weirdly how I feel about that. Also, the way I want to play this, I want to play a character. I want to play a warden that is all in, mother all the way, team mom, team I'm not gonna say MILF. I mean, I just said it, but we the wardens would never. Miller, mom, I'd like to respect in the morning. Anyway, point is that's my only complaint here. It's just that it feels like maybe you didn't build up the possibility of rebelling enough before telling me to rebel. Let's see. If you want to belong to a cult of personality to a flawed individual, yes, that's the one I wanted. And take on the role of a guardian angel to a mortal and spout disturbing dogma, or possibly these. These two, yes, these two are already implied in the text we've seen. That first one, I feel like it deserves, before you hit me with that, build it up a little bit more. It's my only complaint there. Otherwise, wardens, cool. They surprised me with the coolness. I am down with the coolness. Let's go. Zeds. Endings are beautiful things. So from everything we've heard about the Zeds from other families, the Zeds are kind of striking me as the Order of Thanatos, right? The Thanatoi. They are. They kill. They are about death. They're the Banu. They're the son. The Banu Hakim. They're the assassin types. That's the vibe that we've been getting so far. Let's see if we are right. All things must come to an end. As everything moves towards entropy, death is the natural conclusion of a life lived. It should be the end. We are the end of all things. The bullet waiting to make its way into your brain. The cancer overtaking your healthy organs. The dead waiting to ferry you across the Styx. We're fate's dispassionate emissaries. We embrace our fatalism. Our urge is to progress entropy. We don't care which emotion that evokes in you. We bring about that natural conclusion, and if we do our job right, you won't feel much emotion at all. Quietude is our goal. We want to end hope, terminate pain, conclude misery, and eliminate the need for vengeance. There's no victimhood in inevitability. We don't just restrict this to the living. Ghosts must pass on to have their end, and we're here to help them along. Even the dead do not escape our notice. One person, one death. We pick our targets carefully and spend our time doing it right. The more souls you introduce to a killing, the greater the likelihood of a conscience rushing past fate's door. Rather than having to clean up a mistake, we'd prefer not to make one in the first place. We let the living make their final arrangements, and we give ghosts time to state their final wishes. We're murderers, not monsters. ZED and colleagues. That's the name of the corporation we have on the books. This worldwide conglomerate acts as a front to get us into places where people can't normally go. It gives us credibility in the murdering department, and coincidentally, it's where we got our name. You're not a member, you're an employee. Okay, this just turned real interesting all of a sudden, okay? We were doing so far, we were like, all right, yeah, the Thanatoi, okay, yeah, I get it. And then we got corporate. You're not a member, you're an employee, and I'm back in. They brought me back in. They've done this already a couple of times where they've taken a concept that I thought I knew where they were going with it, and they've given it just enough of a twist to bring me back in, and I like that. Well done, Curseborne. Others play at familial relations, but we know our place in the hierarchy. We all have jobs to do to ensure we can execute our function to the high standards we set for ourselves. We act with professionalism at all times, and we are each a representative of the corporation. If you need a new body, you have only to look at your most recent kill to find a fresh corpse waiting for you. It saves some cleanup costs. We might kill solo, but we aren't isolationists. We have a network of built-in allies through our corporation. We pay them well to provide all sorts of aid when we need them, including physical backup. We don't do parties. We meet in offices and hold court at boardroom tables. We discuss matters of business among each other, and we keep it succinct and to the point. During off hours, we gather in less formal settings to discuss other matters. No matter how efficient and merciless a killer you might be, it helps to express what you've seen and been through. It's not therapy, however. ZED doesn't cover those costs. We do appreciate a party if someone else is throwing one, but not while on the clock. Okay, I like it. Our corporation is just like a family. No, they're very clear. They're very clear. They're very clear. You are an employee. You have a job to do. Do that job well. Well, you know the rest. You know the rest. I like this. I like Death Incorporated as a family concept. I really do. I'm a big fan of this. Excellent. Well done. Good job. Nice. Let's see. Relations. There's no joy to be found in death, and yet the Mavens insist on hanging around us. Maybe they want to change us. When will they learn that their actions have when will they learn that neither life nor death holds any value over the other? Furies could make for an adequate scythe, but they need a firm hand. If their leadership wasn't so strict about not letting people leave the fold, I'd recruit from them in a heartbeat. We work surprisingly well with wardens in allowing mortals and ghosts to tie up unfinished business before I quiet the Newmans. We too are trying to help people, just not quite the same way they are. It's funny to me his shades try to make themselves feel better by staving off killing. They know as well as we do that everyone dies in the end. It's probably why our relations haven't soured in all these years. The hungry, much like the dead, are beyond their expiration date. All the more reason to find a way to break this damnable curse. And we've heard reports that a sect of sorcerers eats ghosts. We have no idea what happens to those ghosts when consumed in this manner. We haven't spread these rumors to other dead for fear of a war breaking out. Ooh, drama. Okay, so I'm looking forward to meeting these ghost eater sorcerers. And I wonder if there are sorcerers that prey on the other accursed as well. That'd be an interesting approach. Let's see. You say drama, I say campaign plot points. I mean, yes, same thing. Drama is a short way to say that. Others call us Reapers. It's a nickname the Mavens came up with and stuck to us, despite any comment on our side. You might hear someone whisper us behind your back. Within ZED and colleagues, we call each other by our professional titles or names, depending on where you are in the hierarchy. And we use our magic as yet another tool in our arsenal for killing. We prefer mundane weapons, such as a gun or a garrote, but magic has its uses, like to get us into places where you shouldn't be, or to possess a killing implement. The company prohibits possessing mortals, but you'll find Zed who do it in a pinch. Just don't tell HR about it. You can learn, enigmas, leadership and range combat, mental and physical, yep. Company car, sharp suit, personalized weaponry, ZED and colleagues boardroom, supernal aim. Alright. And let's see, you possess your body so tightly that you have infused it with your lingering death. Gain access to the following trick on all close combat attacks. Death's door, one hit. You curse your target into oblivion. They gain the slow-acting toxin status effect that only reacts to magical antitoxins. Failure to buy off the complication results in the victim dealing an injury to themselves every time they take a subsequent action. Ooh, so you have like a poison power if you choose as your major path. You're definitely built for murder. Take hold or bleed cost. The hold or bleed cost to cast spells for physical, so because you're better at physical spells, you can spread psychic spells more, and close combat tricks also function on ranged combat. Okay, that's probably pretty big. That sounds like it's probably pretty big. You want to play the set if you want to be an emotionless assassin that can find purpose beyond just killing. Okay, yes. Okay, cool. Help mortals to go satisfy the last wishes, or wield a gun you get to name and use it to hit a company mandated quota. Okay, I wanna. Oh wait, haunting practices. Ooh, okay, so we're about to hit a new area. We're about to hit a new section. But first of all, before we get to that, holy shit, love the sets. Love the sets. Again, a family that I would love to play this. I love the concepts of this. An all Zed campaign could be wild. I could totally imagine that, and we'll talk more about that when we get back from those ads. You knew it was coming. I knew it was coming because I see the timer on my screen. So it's ad time. One more time. We'll be back right after this. Bear with me. Whee! And we're back. Yes, we are. I see us back. Hey, folks. All right, so good news. Look at us. We're almost there. End of document. We're almost there, and then we'll get to start looking at the next one in here, this third and final, alas, hour of today's stream. So let's see. Haunting practice. So we've seen all the families. We've seen the sets, and now we're into some of the powers. So we're not going to get deep into the powers because all they're really giving us is a quick description. But at least we get some ideas of the stuff that you have available to you as a starting level dead. So that's cool, at least. I mean, this is what these documents are for, right? These are not final. These are basically a preview of what's upcoming. So let's see. Haunting practices. Like lesser phantasms, the dead derive a lot of their magic from their innate incorporeal state. Their magic is far stronger and much more versatile, but the term haunting has permeated their magic use from time immemorial. The dead can influence people's emotions as an extension of their curse's urges and have learned to utilize their constant liminal state to their advantage. The dead have access to 3 hauntings. Below each, we have listed the spells available to character creation with a short description of the spell in the page number where you can find the full write-up. So before I keep going, it sounds like the way, and I'm making some assumptions. This is the first, the first accursed lineage that we're looking at, but the way this is being organized and presented, it sounds like they did. Okay, so Old World of Darkness and in Chronicles of Darkness, characters, there would be like a power name. Like, let's say, Obtenebration. Obtenebration is a specific power set, and it goes from 1 to 5, or other books it can go up to 10 or whatever. And each level of Obtenebration has a specific effect, and then certain character types, right, the La Sombra in specific, and then some others, have access to Obtenebration. They can buy powers from that list. But those Obtenebration powers only belong in Obtenebration. There isn't like a generic shadow control power. Some other power sets from some other supernaturals might also be able to control shadows, but they're not obtenebration, right? That you got my point there. Here it's sounding like there's going to be at some point just a big list of spells, because they call everything spells. They're not calling just like sorcerer stuff spells. They're not calling these powers. They are calling them hauntings here, but in terms of game mechanics, it's all spells. So it sounds like there's just going to be a big list of spells, and then based on your lineage and your family and whatnot, you get access to specific ones. So they're specifically saying that these are the stuff that you have access to at the beginning as a starting character. And I'm guessing in the full book, you would see, you know, what you can continue having access to as you progress, as you grow. But the spells themselves, right, it's just a huge pool that all different supernaturals pull from. Interesting. If that's the case, that's interesting. I don't mind it. Definitely would help address some of the problems that old World of Darkness and even Chronicles had, where a level 2 power from a specific, you know, a power set would be incomparably more powerful than a level 2 power from a different power set. Like there really wasn't any level of balance or comparison really, especially between splats. Like, you know, a level 2 werewolf power and a level 2 vampire power and level 2 changeling power might vary wildly in their levels of sort of raw actual power that they could do. Here it sounds like it might be a little bit more balanced because of the nature of that. I guess we'll see as we go. I don't mind the approach. Although I wonder if we're going to lose something, if we're going to lose some flavor. Because we're seeing here themes of emotional manipulation and corporeality, metaphysics. But I wonder, like, if for example, this mental fortitude power right here. So we have access to it as far as a dead. Within the haunting of emotional manipulation, we have access to mental fortitude. You gain armor against non-physical attacks. Cool. I'm guessing there's going to be other supernatural types, other accursed, that also get mental fortitude as part of their own power sets. In terms of flavor, is there going to be guidance from the game? Because right now here there's nothing. Again, this is early, understood, no problem. This is why I'm asking. I'm curious, will we see guidance? Will there be like a difference, like are spells cast by the dead flavored different, even if it's the same spell as a sorcerer or a hungry or a primal or whatever might cast at the end of the day in game terms? I'm curious if wait, give me a second. Okay, you know what, I'll leave this. This is technically, I'm not sure if this is stream safe, what's happening before. It's a lo-fi version of the One Piece. You know what, I'm not gonna trust it. I'm gonna go back to Stream Beats. Okay, there we go, just in case. I don't trust that it's copyright safe as much as I loved it. Oh well. Anyway, like I said, okay, so anyway, you see where I'm going with this. My only concern is that is flavor-wise. Is the same spell cast by a different lineage going to look different? You know, I'm guessing it would. I definitely would run it that way. You know, it's just I care about the aesthetics of powers in games. I care that you know, godly powers look godly, hellish powers look hellish, fire powers look fiery. Powers should fit your character and your character type. So I would expect not only between lineages, but even within family types, especially if you chose the family as your major path, for that to affect how your powers manifest and look. Because one of the good things about the previous way was that, hey, sure, obtenebration was only for certain specific types of characters, which is the same thing here, right? There's going to be limitations on what characters can pick, but a shadow controlling power from somebody else, from another different power set, was probably going to look pretty different from obtenebration. Obtenebration in and of itself had its own sort of philosophy and flavor and style. Meanwhile here, like I said, I'm worried about that. Like, well, if other splats have my same powers and they work and look exactly the same, it makes my character feel a little less special. And usually you want your players to feel that their character is special and there is something about them that others don't have. You wanna make that a more intense emotion in characters. So that's my only concern with this power, the way it seems to be being presented. That said, for sake of organization and all that, I love it. For sake of streamlining and being able to kind of maintain a level of balance, yeah, great idea. I'm just worried they're going to lose a little bit of identity. We'll see how it's handled in the end. Okay, so you can modify emotions. Okay, emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is the dead's urges born to bear. These spells give the dead the ability to manipulate the emotions of others, heightening or decreasing emotions, as well as driving people to action or inaction. So, mental fortitude, gain armor against non-physical attacks. Cool. Dissonance, make an emotional attack dealing physical damage. Cool. So basically, from 5th edition. God damn it. How much Baldur's Gate 3 have I played specifically using a bard, and now like it's not cutting words, it's vicious mockery. Thank you very much. Vicious mockery. Quiet space. Create a social code that everyone must follow. So that is level 1 of Changeling art of Sovereign. Yes. Provocation. Alter a target's emotional state. Cool. Got there eventually. I did. And home record. Change the nature of a target's bonds. Interesting. Change the nature. Okay, that's something that we're gonna have to learn more about eventually. Incorporeality. Ghosts have a knack for spooking those around them with a little telekinesis or manifestation. The dead have access to a greater suite of powers while in ghost form, allowing them to interact with the physical world and possess all manner of things. I do kind of like that the dead aren't just like zombies and revenants, but that they are, in fact, like partially ghosts, and that you have a reason to go incorporeal, and in fact your powers work better in a way as a ghost for certain things, so therefore giving you a reason to do that. It's cool. So okay, let's see. So you've got shared senses and your consciousness into a willing target for a scene, getting a bonus to teamwork actions. Cool. Commune, make a friendly space to talk to ghosts. Creepy doll, which says inanimate. Manifestation, be seen and heard while in ghost form. Useful. And soul scribe, perceive a location at a distance. Cool. And then metaphysics. The dead's nature as a ghost gives them properties that defy natural physics. They can draw on their ghost nature while possessing a body to utilize this intangible nature, as well as their own experiences as being dead, to manipulate the world around them. Alright, let's see what we get. So, universal keyhole, move through a barrier with a single step. Very useful. As smoke, apply a complication to an incoming attack to prevent the attack. Cool. Memoryscape, create a projection of someone's memories. Neat. And these are the starting level. You can pick these at when you begin. Haunted ground, create a shattered space. That seems unsafe. And through time, pull an object through time for immediate use. Yo, the metaphysics powers are kind of a step up from the rest of them. I guess all of these are useful, But whoa, metaphysics seems to be kicking it a step up. And this is all starting level. You can pick to start with this stuff. I love the through time one. That's kind of wild. I'd love to see the full explanations. But that is The Dead. We have made it, folks. We have made it. I'm so proud of us. So proud. We all made it. This was a team effort. Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand while we open up the next one. We've got time. We've got time. We got at least 15 minutes before the next ad break, which means we can open up the next draft manuscript, The Hungry. There was, in fact, much rejoicing, my friend. So much. The Hungry. Let's go ahead and take a moment, admire the art. Copyright 2024 Onyx Path. The Hungry. Yay! Yeah, we made it. We made it. I'm so happy. I am so happy. Let me go ahead and hydrate here real quick. Water. I was originally going to take a longer break and go get some caffeine, but fuck it. We're already down to our last 40 minutes anyway. So let's power through it, folks. I keep saying this and then I don't do it, and then entirely possible that I may live up to that again. But I've been kind of itching to maybe play some video games tonight, so I might be streaming again later tonight. Will not promise, but those of you who are already following me, you'll get an alert. So keep an eye out for that. I might be streaming some video games tonight. Not sure which ones yet. I've been playing this one called it's not Crypt Keeper, it is Crypt Master. It's Crypt Master, yes, Crypt Master. And it is Mavis Bacon teaches typing meets Ultima Online, Ultima Underworld meets I don't know, some other stuff. It's cool. It is surprisingly cool. But also, if I do play it, I would probably be starting playing it from where I'm at. I don't think I would begin a new game. Maybe I would. But it's one of those games where once you discover certain things, playing the earlier parts is almost annoying. To get through the earlier parts to once you have that. So I might not restart. Anyway, I'm getting distracted because that's who I am as a person. Let's look at The Hungry, the next lineage. We're just going to start it. We're not going to get very far on this one today. We're just going to get the quick intro to them, and then it's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's different. I'll give you the spiel on what's happening tomorrow. So this will be just a little taste, a little end of week taste, and then on Monday, on Tuesday is when we would actually dive in deep to The Hungry. So consider this an appetizer to build up that appetite, to get you hungry for the actual hungry on Tuesday. I keep wanting to say Monday, but you're not gonna catch me. You're not gonna catch me saying Monday. I do not stream on Mondays. Mondays are streamless days. 4 reasons. Now let us get our little taste of The Hungry. Let's see. Let me. Okay, I just wanted to see who I'm reading as. I'm Eve. So. What? No. I didn't kidnap you. I'm here to help, in a sense. I'm kind of your sister now, so I want to make sure you know the ropes and settle in and all. What? I see. I've gotten ahead of myself again. She's always on my case for that, too. Hush, it's gonna be fine. You're fine. Please, you have to calm down or she'll get angry when she gets back. Mother doesn't like it when we lose control. Fine, roll your eyes at me, but fair warning. Roll your eyes at her and lose them. Now, listen to me. We are the hungry. We are ambition and unfulfilled need made manifest. We are the glittering center of the mortal's existence and the shadow that haunts their nightmares. We spent our lives chasing better, wanting more, seeking the top, and more likely than not, it got us killed. Except people like us, we never really die. We've got unfinished business. We claw ourselves out of our grave and keep going because we're hungry. Okay, you know what? Let me start again. Here's everything you need to know about your new lease on life, death. Hi, I'm Eve, short for Evelyn, which I hate, and I'm a vampire. Not that we call ourselves that much, it's just what most humans know us as, thanks to Stoker and Rice and all them. Amongst ourselves, we are the hungry, and now you are too. Feel that deep, gnawing sensation in the pit of your stomach? Yeah, that's your new normal. Drink this, it'll help. Yes, it's blood. Alright, you'll drink it eventually. No one outlasts the hunger. Now, listen to me. We keep going. It's different for each of us. You hunger for blood, yes, but also for prestige, for power, for immortality. Don't deny it. I know you do, because she brought you back, and she chooses who gets this gift. Yes, it is a gift, extremely carefully. As well as needing blood, our kind hunger for flesh or emotion or other means of satiation, while also hungering for acceptance or deliverance. Imagine being undead and still craving friendship of all things. Anyway, but most of the older ones are wrapped up in their political crap and centuries-old rivalries and the like. I'm sure we'll both get there eventually, but tonight, you're new, and I'm here to babysit you so you don't starve to death or end up ripping out your former roommate's throat. Yes, I said former, you can't go back. I mean, you could, but you'll have to disappear eventually when people notice you don't age or eat normal food and become weirdly allergic to everyday objects. No, not all the myths are true. They're just twisted. You'll see soon enough, and I'm sure you're going to inherit some of her issues. I know I have. Oh, who's she? Right, that part. I always forget that part. I've only done the newbie chat like once a few years ago, so I'm a little rusty. She prefers that we call her Mother, but the name she gave me was Camilla Hadrid. She also said she was a duchess or something, but I can't find her online anywhere, so if she was one in her mortal life, she can't have been important, or she's using a fake name now. It doesn't really matter in our current society. I can see you, you know, darting glances at the door, the window, wondering what's beyond and if you can get away. I can feel you, too. Pulse speeding up, the last of your mortal blood plumping away through your veins. Your breath, which you don't actually need to do anymore, it's just a reflex, quickening. Anyway, stop. Stop looking for a way out. This is your life now. You're one of us now. You will drink blood to survive, and you will do as Mother says. Past that, your time is still yours to do what you want. That said, I recommend getting some sleep now. Waking up from death really takes it out of you, and you're gonna want to be fresh when you meet her. I'll just leave this glass here by the bed for when you get hungry later. I'll be here when you wake up. Fun. Okay, so we're not beating the vampire allegations, of course. I mean, the hungry are the vampire lineage, right? They're the bloodsuckers. But let's see what makes them different. So, once bitten. Sorry if I upset you last night. For the record, you didn't die. Not really. But you're also definitely not alive either. Got it? Oh, cat, sweetheart, I love you. Stop knocking stuff off. Then again, I guess you can't help yourself. You are a cat. It's 4:27. You get fed at 6. She is the hungry. You want to talk about the hungry? Get a cat. Get a cat. Here, I'm gonna move you a little closer here. There you go. So you can move this water away, so I can actually go here. Okay, there we go. Are you gonna bite? No. Okay, so I do all that for you, and then you just run away. I'm sorry, folks. I was hoping she would let me pick her up and I could display cat for you, but alas, she only wants food an hour and a half before her feeding time. Talk about the goddamn hungry. Sorry if I upset you last night. For the record, you didn't die. Not really. But you're also definitely not alive either. Got it? Let me tell you about myself. Maybe that'll give you some context while you pull yourself together. I see you didn't drink that last night, so here's a fresh one. You should really try it while it's warm. My human life ended 30 years ago or so. Time stops being important after a while, honestly. I was in college. I won't name it because I don't need you digging up my prehistory. Thank you very much.
but it was a decent school, and I was a very good student. I was doing some research work on blood diseases, which is what caught Mother's attention in the first place, she's told me since. To be honest, though, she still hasn't told me why. Long story short, I got tangled up in some relationship drama, and my roommate took me to this wellness retreat she had heard about to recoup and unwind. Pretty sure Mother was behind both the drama and Helen finding out about the retreat, but I haven't found proof. Just a hunch. The I that I was never came back from that retreat. I think I'm still listed as a missing person. Check anymore. I didn't have much family to begin with, so in that regard, things are different now, for better or worse. Anyway, I died out there. I woke up at a table in a dingy, dilapidated hospital basement, sliced open breast to navel. My stomach contents were sitting in a bag next to me. I'm describing it clinically, but if you're wondering if I felt that, yes. Mother was in the room, waiting, though I didn't know it was her at the time. "You're one of the hungry," she told me, as she rose from her chair in the shadowy corner like some sort of Nosferatu wannabe. "You're undead, a vampire. I called hunters. They'll be here in 15 minutes. Get up if you want to survive." Then she left. I couldn't move at first, it hurt so bad. I could feel my flesh re-knitting, and that made it even worse. All those cut nerve endings kicking back in just to scream. It's the kind of pain that makes people say, "I wanted to die." Except I didn't. Someone killed me, and I needed to return the favor. I was not done. I forced myself off the table and fell face first on the floor. Clawed myself up, crawled out of the room. I left my stomach contents. I left my entire life in that abandoned hospital. But I made it outside, and there, right as rain, Mother Hadrid was waiting for me in a limo, fresh clothes on the seat across from her, and a placid smile on her face. "Welcome to forever," she said cheerily, as if she was a teacher on my first day of school. We had words about her introduction. We still do. She eventually promised to be kinder with the new kids. I think she was lying. Trauma is part of our creation. One part gore, one part trauma. Maybe she didn't wait until the coroner made us cut before she raised you, but I bet it was dramatic anyway. You should know that's intentional. Still, she let me handle the introductions, and I'm much nicer. So maybe that's progress? Welcome to forever, I guess. I'm sorry. I like this introduction. I like this take on vampires. This sort of matter of fact, like, look, man, deal with it. This is just what it is, kind of thing. I appreciate it. Again, very much the curse placed upon you. Let's see where to start. Once again, this section is separated between Eve explaining what it means to be her kind of hungry to her new brother, and the mechanical information. If you prefer to jump straight into character creation, here's relevant pages. So, things that we'll look at apparently is undead strength. We'll learn about our damnation, our torments, our mechanics, and then these are, I guess, the families within this. So we've got the ascetics, the black hearts, the gaki, the heirs, house bathory, the iscariots, the vorare, and then the practices, I guess, the preview of the powers that we're going to see. So let's do a well, it's ads time. I was just trying to see if we can maybe get through this before ads, but I don't trust it. So let's just get through the ads. This will, I promise, be the last ad break of this stream, because after we come back, we're gonna power through this until we get to until we get to around this part or so. Until we get to the systems, kind of where we left off when we started with the dead today. That's, I think, where we're going to be able to get through with the hungry, which should be fun. So on that note, hang on Snoopies. Let's do the ads real quick, come back, and then get through the end of the stream. I believe in us, you believe in us, we are hungry for more information on Curseborne, and we'll be right back with that.
Sup, nerds? We're back. Let's talk about vampires. Let's see here. All right, so we, the hungry, I presume here in this case, we eat people. Kind of.
Right, here comes the part that might shock you. And I don't mean that as clickbait. I'll just get straight to it. We must eat the living to survive. Blood, flesh, guts, you name it, we need it. I mean, you can still go out for donuts and coffee, though. They'll taste like nothing. Carbs won't fuel your body now unless they're mixed with something living. We need blood in specific, but some families consume other things. Consumption is the root here. Blood animates your body and mind, fuels our powers. Animating your body is automatic, but using your power requires will, control, and a source. Blood out requires blood in. On to the topic of drinking, then. You'll find a variety of terms for the mortals who provide us with blood. Donors is popular, nice and clinical, not too emotional. Vessel and offering are also in vogue. Some hungry like to refer to their donors as beloved. You'd be surprised, or not, how many just call them what they are. Prey. With the lexicon out of the way, here's how you drink. I don't mean the physical part, that's easy. Once the time is right, you will instinctively sink your fangs into their flesh to drink their blood. Either way, you won't need me to run you through it. Now, step one is for you to want it. That's capital W, want. It's not enough to be physically hungry or to realize you need blood to survive. When you sink your fangs into someone, it needs to be the whole center of your existence. You must crave it like a man in the desert craves water. There are a couple of ways to accomplish that. Fasting works, but it can get messy. Easy to lose control when you're famished and now you have a dead donor on your hands. Or worse, a badly injured one, and you need to weigh the risk factor against your own morality before dropping them at the ER. A better way is to form an attachment to your donor, which, yes, conflicts with a nice, clean term, but people are complicated. Fall in love with them, or in lust if it's just for the night. Hate them with an abiding passion. Toy with them like a cat with a mouse, but make yourself want them. And then drink. Step 2, and here's the tricky part. Make them want it too. You'll play on their desire if you're nice. Kiss them, tease them, bite them. You can coax want out of hate and fear as well, though. Paint yourself the villain. Make them hate you with the burning heat of the sun. Do it right and they'll ache for the moment you reveal yourself as the monster they knew you to be. Fear works that way too. You know when you watch a horror movie and the suspense is worse than the reveal? That's where you need your donor. At the point where they want you to come out, do your worst. I hope you flinched reading that. It sounds like I'm blaming the victim, saying it they wanted it. Pay close attention to me now. It's all on you. They want you to come out, sure, but it's because you pushed and pushed and pushed. You used every ounce of manipulation at your considerable disposal, and now they want it over with. That's not on them. It's your doing. If you're gonna be a monster, it needs to be eyes wide open. No lies, no euphemisms, no victim blaming. There might come a time when you see the slippery slope and you want out. And you can't climb back up if you don't know the path. Or, just stick with making out. What makes us? Well, let's cycle back to the whole dying and being reborn part. First off, there's how it works. Mother Hadrid chooses and brings you back from your grave or mortuary table. But then there's how it works, the metaphysical aspect of it. Our curse or damnation, it comes from a mix of ambition, desire, and trauma. Now, let's start with ambition. Damnation comes from ambition gone too far. It goes from a plan to a scheme to a racket. You work hard, you're determined, and soon you forget what you were working towards, always grasping at the next thing, then the next. You have to work to be hungry, too. Always reaching for the next shining goal. The achievement that's impossible for others is the one that drives us forward in life. It's also what makes us claw our way up from the grave. You have to work to get donors or victims, to move within our ranks, to carve out your own little place in this cursed existence. Now, add desire. It's not enough to know what you want and work hard for it. You have to have a burning desire, an insatiable, incurable, gnawing pit in the bottom of your stomach. It's what separates the merely ambitious from the hungry, and it's a necessary ingredient for damnation. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have strong ambitions and desires. Why is this happening to me? And that is a very good question. The damnation doesn't care because Mother doesn't care, and she chose you. It turns out that you can just curse anyone with this damnation, and that ambition and desire will foster inside them. And finally, the trauma. Here's where the magic happens. No, not the kind of magic that means something good. The kind of magic that is part and parcel with living a cursed existence. Sometimes the damnation chooses, but that's so rare we don't talk about it. You need a hungry to curse you, infect you, pass their blood, flesh, spit, whatever, onto you and bring you back from the dead. Your creator would almost certainly make it hard to come back. They might physically bury you, they might beat you and leave you dead and broken. They might wait until you're already sliced up by a pathologist. All this to make you stronger, but if you ask me, it's plain old generational abuse. The supernatural version of my parents beat me and I turned out fine. Now, this is how you treat people, you are not fine. But I digress. I lied, actually. There's a secret ingredient. Craving. Hunger creates hunger. I'm not just waxing eloquent here. It's literally how the world works. You buy something, you're happy for a while, and then you want to buy more stuff. You see someone has something, and all of a sudden, you need it. When 2 minutes ago, you didn't even know it existed. It's how rich assholes end up with 5 houses they don't live in and a yacht for inside their yacht. Your curse makes you hungry. Ambition and desire are nothing compared to how the cravings will take you. That's how we're made. But like I said before, what we do is drink blood. We have to. It's our sustenance and our curse. If it's not sated, the hunger can make you lash out and take something more, probably something or somewhere that you'd rather not engage in a violent public bloodbath. It can also make you lethargic because it causes you to slowly sink into a sort of waking paralysis. First, you lose your powers, then you lose yourself. Good news though, you can be brought back from most things with blood as well. We also have a few rules we abide by so no one gets too suspicious of us. Don't get famous, don't get caught, and do not, under any circumstances, turn a child into one of us. The first two should be self-explanatory, though being infamous can be as bad as being famous. The third one's been explored in all kinds of media, and it always turns to shit. Don't do it. You'll be stuck with a 16-year-old person in a kid's body who can't grow up and probably wants to rip your throat out. Redemption. Okay, I'm sure this was all a lot to take in. You're probably wondering if you can undo your curse. You can die, you're immortal and immune to both aging and illness, but that isn't the same as indestructible. Fire, decapitation, a stake through the heart will kill you. Well, let's be fair. Those kill most things. Plus, you don't want to die. Maybe you just want to go back to be immortal. Well, there's stories about hungry who do. The most famous one is Lazarus. Yeah, you know him from the Bible. Mother claims Lazarus is a parable for her own damnation. Did you know how the story ends, though? According to biblical apocrypha, Lazarus traveled to the kingdom of Kition after his resurrection to a place that now holds the city of Larnaca. And he lived another 30 years and then died of natural old age. He lived another 30 years. Not this parasitic half-life we have, but a true mortal life. One that ended as all mortal lives eventually must. For 2 long millennia, Hungary have sought Lazarus' secret. I've heard rumors about the disciples of Kition who uncovered the gospel of Lazarus in ancient ruins under Larnaca. The gospel holds a road to redemption that's equally simple and impossible. Stop being hungry. Look, hunger drives us, traps our flesh between dead and living, and propels both our ambition and prowess to inhuman height. To become mortal again, you gotta reject all it stands for. Most hungry experiment naturally with abstinences. Only the most callous are entirely comfortable eating humans. No one likes being a cannibal. Stories of young accursed going on hunger strike abound. If the kid holds out, they find their power waning. Animals lessens them gnawing somewhat, but never quite fills an aching belly. I've never heard of a single one with the fortitude to stay the course. Most abandon their experiment voluntarily, but an unwise few, they hold out until the hunger forces their hand. The latter, more often than not, leads to carnage. Some ancients try fasting too, though by all reports it's much harder, if not impossible, for them. Mother Hadrid says her creator tried it and fell into a listless sleep on the 12th night. He awoke a full 2 years later, reporting terrible and vivid nightmares that plagued his slumber. Lazarus, as one of the few, held out. If it's real, his gospel describes rituals and meditations that enhance control and lessen the bloodthirst. He resisted damnation and became mortal again. He's not the only one. The tales of Tammuz's or Orpheus's return from the underworld also, they hold coded messages about undoing certain curses. There is hope out there. But don't get terribly attached to it. Those stories are all old and maybe they're just myth. I know some people who claim to be in contact with Lazarus' disciples, but they don't seem any closer to unlocking a cure for damnation than any of the rest of us. So, you can try. But honestly, just drink the fucking blood, okay? We can help you. Hey, I'm here for you, remember? But it's not just me. We have a whole family dedicated to making sure you can eat, you're safe when you sleep, and you learn how to use what you've been given. We're not the only family, obviously. You don't get an immortal lifespan without wanting to drag a few friends along. And after all this time, we've got a lot of friends. There's quite a few families scattered around the globe, including 7 major ones. Here we go. Wait, what was it? Including 7 major ones and a bunch of offshoot bloodlines. We're members of House Bathory, you and I. Mother is extremely proud of our heritage, but all the families are in some way. And yes, she might have traumatized you, and she will continue to do so, but I honestly think you've landed in a good place. At least we didn't bury you like those weirdo Iscariots, and you'll learn all about all of us in time, but we all have our own agendas and traditions, so try to pay attention when Mother comes to visit, won't you? Now, we're not the only non-humans out there. Wouldn't that be rich? Just humans and vampires doing their thing without all the other supernaturals you've heard about your whole life? You really should drink that. But no, now, of course, it's not just us. There's outcasts and sorcerers, both of whom are still mortal, human, technically, I think. Their powers are unpredictable at best from what I've seen, so tread softly and all that. I'm not sure what all the differences are between them, to be honest. I don't really care, except that they insist they're not the same thing. They both wield some form of actual, like, spell-type wizard school-ass magic, and neither is bad to have by your side in a fight, but the things that hunt them are way scarier than the mortals who try to stand up to us occasionally. We're probably most like the dead, in the sense that we're both sort of undead. They're ghosts, but they aren't ghosts. Yeah, it's confusing as fuck. I know. Essentially, they're dead and are ghosts, and at the same time, they're inhabiting a body. They have all the ghosty powers and can take over bodies or other things. I've heard they can possess places too, which is just wild. They also have this thing for emotions that is a lot like our hunger, but less visceral. Basically, they're not a threat to you, but you might find them useful to team up with down the line. I don't run with many of the primal, the shapeshifters. Where we pride ourselves on being cool and collected, they let their animal urges take over, literally. It's funny. There's so much pop culture trash about vampires and werewolves being mortal enemies, but we're not even like that. We're just so incredibly different that we rarely have anything to talk about. Excellent in a fight, though. If you can get one to work for you, you have a great infiltrator on your hands, so I guess they're at least useful. Yeah, werewolves and other things are real. Magic is real. Vampires are real. You are one. I'm not sure why this isn't sinking into your lovely, newly immortal skull, but we can't all be at the top of the class, I guess. I'm sure there's more, but we have an infinite span of nights ahead, and Mother should be here soon, so she'll keep up your education. Oh, also, if you don't drink that by morning, I'm shoving it down your pretty throat, and you will not enjoy the process. Good night. Okay, I love Eve. Eve is our unreliable narrator for this particular family, and I am a big fan of her. Excellent. We've met Sam, we've met Eve. I forget what the name. Those are the only two we've met so far. Yeah, Sam and Eve. Sam for the dead, Eve for the Hungry. I cannot wait to meet the other NPCs. But with that, I think we're gonna pause here. We're gonna pause here because what time is it officially? It is, yeah, we got 10 minutes. So we're gonna start wrapping up the stream because next week. So let's see, yeah. So the next, yeah, at this point now we're gonna start hitting systems. So we'll see this next week. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the big one with my face. There we go. That's the view you get when wrapping up the stream, folks. I'm so proud of us. I really am. We sat down, or well, I didn't sat down. I'm standing is what I do. I get on these streams and I stand for 3 hours and I rant about indie tabletop RPGs. I've made a conscious choice in my life to spend my days like this, and you've made a conscious choice in yours to hang out with me during these streams, which I sincerely appreciate, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope this was fun. I'm having fun. I'm liking what I'm seeing with Curseborne. Curseborne is, again, I want it to be, I am biased. I want this to be good. I want this to be the spiritual successor to World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness that DC20 has become to 5th edition for me. I want Curseborne to be the DC20. I want Curseborne to be to World of Darkness what DC20 is to 5th edition for me. And that's another one that eventually, I'm actually probably going to do something similar to this for DC20, but I'm waiting because the set of rules that is out now is 0.8. We're waiting on 0.9, which is going to add more subclasses, and it's actually going to let characters level up to level 4, because believe it or not, DC20, still as complete as it is, currently you can only go up to level 2 officially as of the rules that are published, and then 0.9 will take us to level 4, and eventually they'll get much higher. But I think at that point, once we get to 0.9, and I've already seen some of the live streams that Dungeon Coach rather has, who's the creator of DC20, has put out, and some of the stuff is going to come in future versions, and I think 0.9 is going to be a good point to start doing kind of like what we're doing here for Curseborne, so I'm excited for that. So here's what's going to happen. Today's Thursday. As you all know, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. There is my, I don't have a button for the schedule. I don't, so I'm just gonna manually do it here again. I'll create one later, but there we go. For those on YouTube who did not see that pop up on chat, you might see it. No, you won't see it on screen because the on screen also doesn't show it here. But my schedule is Tuesday through Thursday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. we look at indie tabletop role-playing games. This week, and probably the rest of this month, is going to be Curseborne month, as we are looking through the material for the newly released tabletop RPG Curseborne that is out on Kickstarter. As they release material, we are looking it over. I think they just released today or yesterday, they released another one of the families of the cursed lineages. So we'll hopefully get that one next week. The other thing I do is on Fridays, I also do a stream from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. But instead of looking at other people's indie RPGs, it's more along the lines of like, hey Dan, you talk a lot of shit about other people's games. I do. Well, put up or shut up. So Fridays, I work out in the open on my own game that I've been working on for a while. I show you the rules, I talk about them, I'm working on them. The game is definitely not finished, has a lot of work to be done. And we took our first look at it last week. I think that was fun. And then tomorrow, that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at my game and tear it apart and make me feel sad, hurt my emotions, just like I've hurt those of others. On the weekend, I might stream, I might not, we'll see. Weekend streams are always up in the air, and when I do, it's usually just some casual video gaming fun. And then Mondays, I do not stream. Mondays I take for myself, and then next Tuesday we'll be back as we will continue looking at the Hungry and the mechanics and the actual different families of the Hungry. Excited for that. I hope those of you who joined me today will also consider joining me tomorrow for a more chill hangout as we look at our rules. I actually allowed myself to sit down for those and everything. It's wild. And also, again, as I threatened earlier, I may be streaming again tonight, do some video gaming. Depends on how much energy I have and how I feel about it. But you know, if you're not already subscribed or not already following me, please do, so you get an alert when that happens. Otherwise, as always, thank you so much for hanging out. Hope to see you again tomorrow. Hope you have an amazing afternoon, evening, morning, lunch, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I will be back 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Goodbye, folks. Wait. Oh, no. The button. I don't have the right button. Here we go. The button. Bye-bye.